If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Well, Rico, happy birthday. I hope you enjoyed what the Buffalo Bills just gave you on a Thursday evening.
No.
7-4 are the Buffalo Bills. They suffer their fourth loss of the 2025 season. Their fourth loss at NRG Stadium since Josh Allen's been the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. 23 Houston, 19 Buffalo in a game that still has me sick. I'm sick to my stomach. Strap in. I'm sure you are too, as we see hundreds of you pouring in for a post-game show following a performance that has me sick. Because as bad as it was, Rico, 3 turnovers, 8 sacks, 3 points scored in the second half, all that to have a chance to win it in the end in a way that you could not have possibly fathomed, just to go off sides on a 4th and 1 and completely piss on the chance that you had. You go against Davis Mills in this one, Rico, and what wound up being maybe the biggest difference in the football game, Ray Davis runs a touchdown back. All the points are going to matter in this one. All the points against this defense. And you allow Davis Mills in the 2-minute drill to walk down the field, score a touchdown. It would be the last touchdown Houston scored. It would be the last one they needed. Both these teams scored 3 points in the second half. And even with Josh Allen at quarterback, it didn't matter. The Buffalo Bills lose. They're 7-4. And Rico, there was a slim chance the Bills had to win the AFC East. After tonight, there is a 0 chance the Buffalo Bills win the AFC East. And now it's fighting for a playoff spot, and we try to decipher what the hell these Buffalo Bills are. What did you make of this evening, my friend?
This was a frustrating game to watch. This was a very chat. Let me know if you felt this way. I was frustrated the whole way through, right from like watching from the beginning of the game. I was like, I don't know how I feel. I'm not pro that we're going to kick butt, but I'm also not thinking that we're going to get trashed either. I just think we killed ourselves. We couldn't block. We couldn't generate any pass rush. We're allowing Davis Mills. Did you see Davis Mills' numbers today? You would have thought Davis Mills had a fantastic game. The dude threw for 51% completion percentage. The guy went 16 for 30 for 150 yards and 2 touchdown passes. We let that score 20 points on us in the first half. Bro, we're Jekyll and Hyde. We are so Jekyll and Hyde, and we can't be respected. No team should respect these Bills. I don't care that you put up 6 touchdowns against Tampa Bay. I don't care. What are you doing with afterwards? I also don't want to hear that we can't get separation. It was Keon Coleman that didn't get no effort. Keon's not in this game. It's the same mess every time. Josh making poor decisions, O-line not blocking, receivers not doing enough to help Josh out. O-line just terrible. Offensive quarter not doing enough and adjusting. You want to know what pissed me off the most in this game? Is the lack of adjustments in game. They were whooping our tail with the pressure. Find out what the pressure beaters are. Quick slants here and there. A screen that you hit Khalil not until the last quarter. This game was frustrating from start to finish. But what's more frustrating is that we had an opportunity at the end of the game to steal one in Houston. As ugly as this game was, had we won this game, we would have said, whew, ugly game, we got the win, on to next. But we can't. Now we got to talk about how bad and poorly constructed this team is. And we saw all of it today. All of it today. The only bright spot,
Cole Bishop. Yep. Does my mic sound okay? I see some people commenting. Does it not sound good?
You sound fine to me.
Let me know in the chat before I continue down my what will be probably a 2-hour rant. Can you please let me know if it sounds fine? I'm in the, I might as well be in prison right now. I feel like I'm in a personal prison after watching that football game. But all right, I see my main man, Money Mitch, saying I sound good. Whatever.
No,
right,
you
cool.
good. You good.
No, you nailed it. Cole Bishop was the only silver lining in this football game. Where do we even begin here? I mean, you want to talk about, once again, I've never felt more foolish rooting for this team than I do this year, Rico. I mean, seriously, yes. I buy back in every time. 2 losses before the bye. I'm feeling down more than I ever have in the Allen era. You come out 40-9 against Carolina. You really play a phenomenal football game against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm bought back in. Then you go and have probably the worst loss of the Allen era against Miami. Wow. Chips off the table yet again. But what do? You follow that up. You drop 44 on Tampa Bay. Josh Allen has an historic performance, 6 touchdowns. You're bought back in again. And then you're going up against Davis Mills. You know what this defense is. I had said on a show earlier, I said, the way that things go against the Texans with Davis Mills at the helm, you get to 20 points, I'm feeling good about a Bills W. And they got to 19. The Houston Texans allow 16 points per game, and the Bills had 16 at half. They were set up. The offense could not do anything. Everything that you needed to go right in the first half, you get a kick return, right? You get a 50-yard rush from James Cook when the offense couldn't do much outside of that. You had a couple of massive plays to help you overcome how great this defense was, and you couldn't muster one additional score in the second half. All you had to your name was a field goal. The amount of missed opportunities in this game, a missed extra point from Matt Prater that completely screwed him. I mean, this game's in overtime right now, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think the Buffalo Bills are losing to Davis Mills in overtime. As bad as that offense played today in Buffalo, as bad as they were, as bad as the offensive line was, as bad as they got destroyed, dismantled physically, I still would have put my money on Buffalo if that game went into overtime to win it. Because guess what? The Houston Texans couldn't do a damn thing on offense in the second half either. They couldn't do anything. And I'm going to put my money on Josh Allen in that situation to win it if it was tied in the second or in overtime. But of course, missed extra point. Why wouldn't it be all the difference, Rico? Why wouldn't it be? But this is the most Billsy thing of all time. The game's over. I mean, you really felt like they weren't going to win this game to start the third quarter. When they came out in that first drive to start the half, like you mentioned, just the lack of adjustments, you come out of the half and immediately go 3 and out and just look awful. You were starting to get the vibe that, yeah, this isn't going to be their night. Of course, final drive. Rico, it's 4th and 27. It is 4th and 27, and they pull off what will be one of the greatest plays of the year. They pull off an unbelievable play that you see maybe once a decade, where you throw it to Josh Palmer, he pitches it to Khalil Shakir, they get the first down, and they did it with ease. I mean, it wasn't even like it was tough to pull off. They waltzed to the first down. It was unbelievable. And you're thinking to yourself, you don't make that play and not win the football game. You don't find a way to make an insane play like that in that moment and not win the football game. And you still somehow found a way to lose it. You get down into the red zone. You have a timeout left. It's 4th and 1. Deion Dawkins, you're one of the leaders of this team. You're one of the staples of this team. You simply cannot jump off sides on that play. You can't. You just can't. This game was so bad in so many ways. I mean, you had the referee get carted off. I'm pretty sure the ref in this game tore his ACL. How many injuries on both sides of the ball in this game, both for Houston and Buffalo? 100? 100? Josh Allen, by the way, I cannot believe he played the football game. Josh Allen goes down. I thought his season was done. Then he went down again. That guy is one tough SOB. He got hurt in this game. No question about it. You saw it. It was obvious. And we'll see what the lingering effect of that's going to be. Deion Dawkins gets hurt. Spencer Brown gets hurt. Terrell Bernard's in a sling, right? I mean, you got Maxwell Harrison walks off the field. Just awful. Then the clock in the game broken. Sure, why not? The play clock, which, by the way, did cost the Bills to some degree. Josh Allen had to rush that throw because he thought the play clock was down to like 7 when it never reset. It just turned back on at like the 11-second mark, and he thought he had to snap it. So he threw it as fast as possible. It was an incompletion. This game was disgusting. It was awful on so many different levels. And then you add on top of it the fact that they had no answer once again to the pass rush on offense. It's like the Atlanta Falcons game. They had no answer, except when they did. You had that unbelievable screen pass to Khalil Shakir. Hey, Joe Brady, where the hell was that before? And where was it after? Where was it? The 4th and 1 play call, you hand it off to James Cook 3 yards deep out of the backfield. Do they have an allotted amount of tush pushes, Rico, that they're allowed to run? And once they run that many, they can't run it again? And then you decide to kick the field goal the next drive when you could have done it there. And then the drive that they had to go down and win the football game, they could have won it with a field goal. I mean, this was, and now this is, here's the thing, Rico. 4 losses this year, and 3 of them are in prime time. And then 3 of them come against a team that was 500 or worse at the time of play. I would also say New England was, but that was way too early in the season, and they haven't lost a game since. They were 2-2 to go into that game. I'm not going to count that one. But the rest are all against teams at 500 or worse going into it. So this is nothing like last year. This is now also, Rico, 2 games in 3 weeks where they score sub 20. Could you fathom that? This Bills team that rattled off 30-plus in their sleep a year ago, 2 games in 3 weeks below 20 points. I'll just say this. I do legitimately think any team right now in the playoff picture has a chance to win the Super Bowl. If the Kansas City Chiefs aren't in it, I mean, I really do think anybody's got a chance. It feels like anybody's year. I got a tough time thinking a team that loses to Tua Tagovailoa, that loses to the Falcons team that has not won since they played them, a team that loses to Davis Mills. I got a tough time thinking that team wins a Super Bowl, Rico.
You buddy, you nailed a whole lot of things where we could just end the show right now. But no, I can't go to bed. Listen, I've had a fantastic day. Fantastic day. Whether these Bills won or lost, fantastic day nonetheless. But this is one of those sour moments. I'm watching the game. The wife is asleep next to me, and you know me. I watch the game standing up. I don't know. I'm weird like that. I watched the game standing up. 4th quarter, I sat down. And I'm like, I can't watch this. This is tough to watch. If I didn't have streaming responsibilities, I would have said, yo, I think I might just, as soon as this game is done, turn that thing off and go right to bed. But I'm so glad that I have this opportunity. Now, here's the deal. I'm looking at this offense in totality, and I'm like, okay, let's just say that the season ends right now. Forget about playoffs. Next year, are you even looking forward to this team is going to be the business next year because I'm looking forward to it. There's absolutely nothing to look forward to next year. If you look at this defense, let's talk about this defense first. On the defensive line, you got Joey Bosa that's on a 1-year deal. He probably doesn't get brought back. AJ Epinesa most likely doesn't get brought back. He'll probably be a free agent by next year. So now you're left with Greg Rousseau, Deion Walker, TJ Sanders. The Deion Walker is outplaying TJ Sanders. You got Ed Oliver. And who else you got? That you're looking forward to seeing that Landon Jackson. Sorry,
Cole Bishop. He's the only, like you mentioned earlier. Cole Bishop.
I'm only talking about the line. I'm talking about the line.
I'm
going to move up to the linebacker room. Milano's gone. Bernard is the only one coming back. He got paid. He's not earning a damn dollar that he got paid for. You got Shaq Thompson most likely gone. So you're left with Andreessen, Bernard, Dorian Williams. Let's go to the defensive backfield. Cole Bishop's the only one that's got a spine on this team. Next to him, Poyer's most likely gone next year. You can't bring him back. If you do, my gosh. Taylor Rapp, probably most likely gone. Maxwell Harrison, Benford. We still got to fill that safety room. So, there's so much. We just put so much into the defense this year. We're going to have to go back to putting more into this defense. And let me give you the kicker. We're broke. We don't have the money going into next year to say, I'm going to go get that guy. I'm going to go get that guy. I'm going to rebuild this team. Bro, then it makes you now point your fingers at Brandon Beane. Bro, what are we working with here, man? We working on a prayer and a dream? What are we working on here? We're broke, and we have weak draft capital. We're going to be picking in the 20s. You had a chance to go and change this damn thing by going to get a damn receiver at the Miami Dolphins, but you said, nah, I'm good. I'm going to keep my picks. Keep your picks for what? Bro, that's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating. And then I'm only just talking about the defense. And the funny thing is, I'm talking about this defense, but this very same defense is the same defense that kept us in this game. They held the freaking Houston Texans to 3 points.
Yep.
Offense dropped the ball.
Yep.
Golly, you go from putting up 44 points to now Josh Allen throw for 253 yards, 0 touchdowns on the ground or in the air, 2 picks, and took 8 sacks. Wait for it. For 70 yards.
Oh, my God.
This brother thought he was back at Wyoming. Now, does Josh need help? Yes. Could he help himself? Absolutely. He did neither of these things. He didn't help himself, and this brother was taking sacks by this O-line that just forgot how to play O-line. Spencer Brown was getting beat. He got bent over a barrel today. Golly, Deion Dawkins gives up on a play. He's blocking, and then all of a sudden stops. That contributes into a sack. 4th and 1. Your team is on the verge of going in. You jump offside. Fam, what are we doing?
I can't get over that.
What are we doing? We have an offensive coordinator that runs James Cook 4 straight times.
5
straight times. You have 1 yard to go. You have a 6'5", 240-pound quarterback, and you want to give the ball consecutively to your 189-yard-pound running back. Bro, that brother got to go.
How about you let him dive over the line in the first quarter? You run the tush push in the first quarter and he dives over the line like he's on the goal line. You do that in the first quarter. You don't do that when the game's on the line?
I don't understand it. Yo, Brady, I was done with him 2 weeks ago. I didn't care about that damn performance that he had last week. Great job. You had a great game plan. Where were you today? This is where a great offensive coordinator digs into the bag and pulls out a play that this team wouldn't have had an opportunity to train for or to watch the film. They knew everything was coming our way. Get after him, Will Anderson. Man, this was absolute. Brady, I want Brady and Babbage gone. Both of y'all get out of here. Both of y'all can go. Leave them in Houston for all I care. Very frustrating, but yet we still had an opportunity to win this game. How crazy is that? It's absolutely wild. I'm sick. Bro, you can't take 8 sacks for 70 yards. That's unreal. Are you kidding me?
How do you not have anything to beat it? And you showed that you did, but you just don't do it. They waited all game to run a dump off screen to Khalil Shakir because apparently running the one where they sling it out to the outside is just so much better. Because how much has that worked the last 2 weeks? 0. How many times have they ran that this year? 5,000 times. I mean, we got all night, so we'll get into piece by piece. But you mentioned it. I want to start here. This defense gets ripped more than anyone. It's always the defense's fault, right? Yes, they allowed 20 points to Davis Mills in the first half. Inexcusable. And that drive before the end of the first half is what arguably did them in. You cannot get a momentum swinging play like that Ray Davis kick return that was, by the way, insane. You run into your own guy, bounce off of him, and somehow, some way take that to the house. And in this game in particular, a play like that is so massive because you're going up against an unbelievable defense. You just got a free touchdown without having to move the football. Huge. And what do? You turn around and squander it by allowing Davis Mills to cook you on a 2-minute drill. But despite that, is that me? Is this music playing in the background?
No, I don't hear anything.
Probably just the voices in my head. Hold on.
So as my man is trying to figure his life out, I'm looking at the box score, and I'm looking at the statistics that this team has been able to put onto us. Like, you can't win. Like, here's the fundamentals. You can't win games throwing interceptions. Josh, that last interception, forget about Gabe Davis doing the offensive pass interference and having the pick play. Josh chose to throw the ball to Palmer when a streaking Dawson Knox is streaking towards the sideline. Right there. I think it was Dawson Knox. Misses that. He goes for Palmer. This was a combination of bad decisions. This is a combination of poor play calling. This is the combination of lack of talent, bro. And I try to avoid this kind of banter, and I try to avoid having conversations with people that say the Bills are wasting Josh Allen's talents, bro. It felt like this one today. It felt like it today. You did not help that brother out today, man. Josh is now, and he's. I feel like I'm all scattered all over the place, but there's so much thoughts going in my mind. I'm trying to streamline it so I can get in there. what's frustrating as well, bro, your team needs you in motivation. Are you seeing something? Huddle them around you. You can't just keep going back to the bench and sitting your ass down and banging your helmet and only talking to your backup quarterback and your quarterback coach. Talk to the other guys, man. Talk to me. What are you seeing? What are you saying? Okay, yo, this is what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to do this. Like, fuck the fundamentals of being a team leader. This guy just sits on his iPad and sits on the table, and that's it, bro. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts, man. Love this team, love my quarterback, love all about it, but that's the stuff, that's the type of stuff that, like, when I played ball and we felt like we were still in this, we rallied everybody. Yo, get over here. Defense, offense, get over. We still got this. Let's roll out. Let's get motivated. Let's try to do something. Bro, we were just getting owned. It's like we were too scared of this pass rush. Daniil Hunter is no joke. Will Anderson is no joke.
Will Anderson looked like Bruce Smith out there today. All right, so where was I before I went on the scavenger hunt for my damn television remote? We were talking about the defense before the half.
God, brother, my brain is all over the place, bro.
I know. I'm trying to, because we've already spent 20 minutes.
Let me know where he was at. If you guys are good memory.
20 minutes of a brain dump of absolute frustration. We will get this thing on some sort of train track, a derailed train, but we will have it on a track, and we'll start with the defense. So as I was saying, you get this unbelievable kick return from Ray Davis. When did the Bills return a kick? You know, they never do. It was so big, and you squander it. 20 points allowed to Davis Mills and the Texans at half. They averaged 22 points a game. But here is the kicker. This defense did everything in their power for the Buffalo Bills to win this football game and gave them every opportunity in the world for them to win the football game. It reminds me almost to a T of the Atlanta Falcons game, where the defense gets rolled in the first half, but for some reason in the second half, they're dominant. They shut down the opponent, but the unfortunate reality, the offense never showed up throughout the full 60 minutes. Nowhere to be found in the first half, nowhere to be found in the second half. If James Cook doesn't break one off, Rico, what do they end up having to show for their offense today? Absolutely nothing. So as much as this defense gets dogged, you're losing guy after guy after guy. Terrell Bernard's in a sling. You lose Maxwell Hairston. Guys are falling all over the place. You somehow give this team an opportunity. You hold the opponent to 3 points. How do you not capitalize? And I know the answer is the Houston Texans D is off the charts, and that they are. That was an unbelievable performance from the Houston Texans D. They earned that W. But you have the MVP. You have 17. And when you hold a team to 3 points in the second half, you can't ask much more from a defense. At the end of the day, Rico, they held Houston to their average total for the year, 22.5. They held them to 23. The Buffalo Bills need to win football games when the opponent scores 23 points. And now you lose to the Miami Dolphins sub 20 points. You'll lose to the Houston Texans sub 20 points. You miss an extra point. You can't get the fourth down conversion. You can't get the fourth down conversion again later in the game. This is now multiple games where I can look at it and say, the defense is always the scapegoat for this team. It's always. But I got to be honest with you. In this football game, the Buffalo Bills, much like the Atlanta Falcons game, had every opportunity in the world offensively.
Yes, they did.
They could not figure it out. And I know the defense is incredible. And I know that they had 8 sacks and they forced 3 turnovers. I get all that. But they still had the ball in scoring territory multiple times, and they wind up with 3 points in the second half. No ability to beat that blitz. You knew what you were going against when you got in there. The offensive line had their worst day by far. I could not believe it. And there was just no answer at all down the stretch. And then to jump off sides on that fourth down, I still can't get over it. To pull off that 4th and 27 and not find a way to get in the end zone, I cannot get over it. This team is doing things that you would never have expected going into the season. And now you're looking at it, Rico, and at 7-4, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this team. And you nailed it. You're looking at the future here. And it just feels like with the Patriots becoming what they're becoming, it just feels like things are closing ever faster than you can imagine right now. In a game like this tonight, where you just don't seem to have an answer, it's not like it's a one-off. I mean, this has now happened in 4 games. The 4 games that they've lost, they have had absolutely no offense to speak of whatsoever.
And we talked about the defense. This game is not even about the defense. Call it what you want about this defense. The defense did their job. They did their job. The defense today, and I'm only mentioning the defense because I'm going to return to the offense. They held Davis Mills to 16 for 30, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns. Obviously, we saw them. One of them went to Christian Kirk, and the other one went to Jaden Higgins. And 0 sacks, no interceptions. They held the rushing offense. We're one of the worst teams in holding these teams to what? I think we're averaging 150 yards a game. We held these guys down to 108 yards rushing. 108. That's middle of the pack. Okay. Nico Collins, their best receiver, 3 receptions for 55 yards. Christian Kirk, 5 for 54. The guy completed 16 passes for 150 yards. Not a whole lot going down. Not a whole lot. So when you look at what they did offensively, the defense did their job. The defense held them to 2 for 12 on 3rd downs. Ladies and gentlemen, that's less than 20%. Less than 20%. They held these guys for 2 and 12. They did their job. It's the offense that dropped the ball yet again. You can't get sacked for 8 times and giving up 70 yards. You're killing your offense. You're killing your momentum. You cannot turn the ball over 3 times. You cannot go into the red zone and not capitalize. Let me tell you something. The Houston Texans are one of the worst teams in red zone defense. We go out and poo-poo the bed and go 0 for 2. We can't, folks. We can't. You can't win games that way. And then on top of that, you give the ball up 3 times? This offense, I was talking about how this defense, but what are you looking forward to this defense? Let's look at this offense. Josh Allen returns, James Cook returns. We know what we're gonna get with this guys. Spencer Brown, he returns. Normally a good right tackle, one of the better right tackles in the game. You know that O-line's gonna be intact. Do we tweak here and there? I don't know. But let's look at what the big issue is. The receivers. You just gave a big deal to Josh Palmer. He's been listen, I'm very disappointed. I'm absolutely disappointed in what has taken place with Josh Palmer. I expected a lot more. This brother has let me down in this offense alongside Josh. Maybe it's the Joe Brady effect, but this brother's not doing it. Gabe Davis, I didn't like the signing of Gabe Davis in the first place, and this was the reason today. I didn't say a whole lot from Gabe Davis, but the O-line wasn't allowing any time, this and that. Brother, he threw the ball 34 times. He completed 24. I don't want to hear it. Everybody, if you look on the internet, what everybody's saying is Josh doesn't have enough help. Well, he ain't going to get it from Gabe Davis because he didn't get it last year, the year before, the last time he was on the Bills. He certainly ain't going to get it this year. You're not getting anything from Dawson Knox. You're not getting anything from Josh Palmer. Elijah Moore was a non-factor. Keon Coleman's on the bench. Khalil Shakir was our best option today. And this brother was banged up, gassed up, taking punt returns.
And he cost them big time fumbling that football.
Fumbling the foot on top of that because he's got no one else. Fuck. Crying out loud. Bro, I'm trying not to cuss. This team is frustrating as ever. And then what are you going to do next year? You have to bolster your defense because you're losing a lot of guys on that squad. So what you going to do with this receiver room? You think you're going to go back out and give Josh Allen the same weapons? Fam, you tripping. Yo, this offseason, I don't know what Brandon's going to do, if he's even going to be around, because this is abysmal. This is terrible. What you have at the receiver room, bro, ain't doing it. Ain't doing it. And Josh, on top of that, he is not absolved. This guy's decision-making today was poor. Times that he should have threw the football away. Times that he had guys right in front of him. He's trying to make more, and it's like he was back at Wyoming. Bro, you're in the NFL. You can't go back to Wyoming. This brother loses trust in people. He turns to Josh Allen from college. You can't do that, bro. You can't do that. 70 yards, taking sacks at 70 yards. I've never seen someone take 70 yards of sacks in the NFL. I've never seen that. This is the first time I've seen something like that. Absolute wild. So if you think this is a playoff team, ladies and gentlemen, boy, oh boy, do I got something to tell you. That did not look like a playoff team. And the team you just played, it's got an elite defense. No question about it. But don't I have the best quarterback in the game? Shouldn't he be smart enough to make some adjustment himself? You know what I mean? Shouldn't they be in lockstep, him and Joe Brady? Bro, what a pathetic excuse for an offense today. Josh was at fault. The O-line was at fault. Bro, pathetic. And the defense gave you the ball back multiple times, and you guys squandered it. Dion, jumping offside, of all people, jumping offside, you killed it. You killed it. Because I truly believe, had he not jumped offside, magic would have happened. Josh Allen would have been able to squeak and steal the win. But that drew us back, and then game over, man. We're just not good enough. We're not good enough to really, truly compete. We're not. So if anyone wants to play this game of, we're 7-4, man, everybody calm down. Bro, look at the rest of the freaking AFC before you tell me to calm down. We better watch out. We kiki all over the Kansas City Chiefs. Bro, we're a couple more losses of being right next to the Kansas City Chiefs. And let me remind you, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers, you got the Cincinnati Bengals that are a freaking offensive firepower, and then you got the Patriots that already whooped our tail before. Keep playing games, and we're going to be sitting here at a 500 football. Pathetic, man. Pathetic. No. Bro, something's got to give. Something's got to give. And it's this, the way we finish this season is going to be a very telling. And if you decide to, and fans deserve more than this. You know what I'm saying? We deserve more than this, bro. Like that was a pathetic excuse for a football game. Pathetic excuse. Turning the ball over, penalties, bro.
They had their chances. I see Patriots fans, they keep coming into my comments, and they're dead right. We were down terribly for a half decade, and you had every opportunity in the world to finally go and do what this franchise has been trying to do since its existence, and they were not able to do it. They've had every opportunity, and now you're on the back end. You're on the back end of the window here. You're on the back end of the opportunity. Yep. And you're starting to see that unfold here, I bet. I mean, you're starting to see it with Kansas City, but the difference is they have 3 titles to show for it. You're watching Kansas City now become a different version where they can't win close games. You can't trust them to have that magic anymore, but they have 3 titles to show for it. Buffalo has nothing to show for it, and New England's only going to get better. They're only going to get better. That team is so young. They have a ton of capital, and you're looking at it, and they come in 1 year with Mike Vrabel and the second year with Drake May, and they're 9-2, and they're going to probably waltz to the 1 seed, and they're immediately going to win the AFC. They're going to win the AFC East with ease. I mean, they're going to win the AFC East with ease. So and you mentioned, is this a playoff team?
Huh.
I genuinely do think right now it's as wide open as it's ever been. But here's what I'm seeing. You play the Denver Broncos, which is an even better defense, arguably, than what you just played, or at least right on par with it. You can't score. You're probably losing, right? You go up against the Indianapolis Colts. You can't stop Jonathan Taylor. There's no way to me they're stopping Jonathan Taylor in that football game. I think it's a terrible matchup for them. You could get the Baltimore Ravens, who you've had their number, right? But are you going to get their number again? How many times is this going to happen until your luck runs out, right? You're looking at the landscape of the AFC, and it's starting to become ever clear. You're looking at the wins Buffalo has this year. They beat a banged-up Tampa Bay team whose defense is, let's face it, it's just not good. They have a good run defense, and they took away the run. Their pass defense is not good, and they were able to take advantage of that. They beat Kansas City, and I know that's always going to be considered a signature win. Kansas City's 5-5 right now, going up against the Indianapolis Colts this upcoming weekend, and that could easily turn into 5-6, right? So when you're looking at the victory over Kansas City, how great was it really, Rico? Because half the teams that have played Kansas City this year have beaten them. But when you've gone up against teams with solid defenses, like the New England Patriots, like the Atlanta Falcons, I mean, this is the thing. The teams you've lost to this year, this is what I can't get over. Losing to Miami the way that you did, losing this football game, I have no shame in having a rough outing against that defense. But the problem is that you had every opportunity in the world to overcome that. They've lost 5 games. It's not like the Houston Texans with that defense is 9-2, Rico. They're 5-5. Last week, the Tennessee Titans, maybe the worst team in the NFL, held that same Texans team scoreless in the first half and lost by 3 points. The Texans barely won that football game. And now you're looking at this week, and the Bills, frankly, performed worse than the Tennessee Titans, who are in complete rebuild mode right now. So you're losing to the Atlanta Falcons, who have not won a game since that Buffalo victory. They haven't won a single game since. Miami, fired their GM the week before. You get routed. The Davis Mills-led Texans, who are held to 3 points in the second half, you lose. The only loss this year that you feel somewhat decent about is the New England Patriots because they're having a hell of a year. The other 3 losses, and they're in prime time too, nonetheless, in prime time. So this team, as much as we wanted to convince ourselves up until this point that it has shades of years prior and they'll just get it back on track, they weren't doing this. They weren't even close to doing this last year, Rico. By this time last year, the Bills were humming. That was a team you looked at and you said, yeah, they're starting to become the team that everybody thinks could go the distance, and they almost did. They were 3 points shy, but the key here is almost. And every time they got close, they fell short. And now I think you're starting to see, Rico, the gap is wide. It's widening. And the thing that's so sickening, this was their year. They came in with the easiest schedule, arguably, in the NFL. The Chiefs are down, right? It looks like they might not even make the playoffs. And this is the year where it seems to kind of all be going to the wayside. And I know it seems like 1 week we're on the highest of highs with this team and the lowest of lows. But I think it's when you lose that you're able to come to reality. Obviously, you get a high when you score 44 against Tampa Bay. You can't not celebrate that and not be excited about it. But you've seen too many times this year, Rico. You've seen far too many times this team show their true colors. And it just feels like the idea of this team winning 3 games in January to get to a Super Bowl, does that not seem impossible to you right now? Because it feels impossible to me.
Oh, I feel that we are as far away from having success in the playoffs. Like wild card seems like back in the drought days when we were like, man, if we could just get into the wild card, we could. This is what it feels like. Like we're just not good enough. Like we're that team that is just getting washed. That's what it feels like. It feels like we were once that top team, and now we're starting to kind of fade away. And we did not do enough to reload. And right now, this is the results of not reloading properly. You're reloading with blanks. When we take a shot, you ain't got nothing, bro. We reloaded with just not good enough talent, and it's showing. It's showing on the defense side of the ball, and it's showing on the offense side of the ball. So now a frustrated elite player in Josh Allen is now going to overcompensate, and that's what he's been doing for this offense. And I get it. Does he make bad decisions here and there? Absolutely he does. But he's now overcompensating, and when someone has to overcompensate, something's going to give. Something's going to give, and you're seeing it unravel now. So now. Then our question becomes, okay, so where can we get our wins? Based on what I've seen from this team, where can we get our wins? Now, this Pittsburgh one, it ain't going to be one of those walkthroughs. I don't know if we're going to be facing Aaron Rodgers or we're facing
Doesn't matter because their defense all of a sudden is humming, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, they are. And guess what? We thought we could take care of the Davis Mills-led Texans. So what any difference going to be with Mason Rudolph if Mason Rudolph is playing? Nothing. So
that's the key. The quarterback hasn't mattered. Look at the quarterbacks they've lost to this year, Rico. Davis Mills, Drake May, who's having a hell of a year, but come on, it's your second year. It's his second year. So I'm going to put it in there. You're losing to a second-year quarterback at home in primetime to snap what was a 14-game win streak at home.
Facts.
Michael Penix and Tua Tagovailoa. Those are the 4 quarterbacks you've lost to this year. So it's not like you're losing to Lamar and Mahomes and Joe Burrow. You look down the line. You mentioned it. What are the wins left? Because right now you're 7-4. So even if you lose one more, if you lose 2 more, then you have to start to wonder what it even looks like postseason wise, because it's so wild right now, this race. I look at the schedule, the Jets and the Browns. And outside of that, I think you could easily argue the Bills could lose every single other game on that schedule if they play like they did, in their 4 losses. And in their wins, I mean, once again, their 2 signature wins are against a 5-5 Kansas City Chiefs team and a 6-4 Tampa Bay Bucks team that was without Bucky Irving, without Chris Godwin, and they have a pretty porous pass defense. They don't have a win this year, I feel like, that you look at and feel like they have shown you that they can go toe-to-toe with a top dog. And I know the Chiefs game wants to feel like that, but the Chiefs aren't that this year. They're just not that.
We're just very inconsistent. You don't know. Like, do you know what they're going to give us next week? Can you have an idea who's going to show up. It's going to be a defensive matchup. It's going to be an offense. Who's going to show up? You just don't know. I don't know. And it's tough to root for a team that like you have no idea what they're going for. And the one thing that could give you the grace of knowing that is if you have a second-year quarterback. Bro, we got a second-year quarterback, so we're going to take our lumps, but we're learning along the way. Bro, we have a 9-year vet quarterback. You know what I'm saying? We have a tackle that's been in the game. He's got 4 straight Pro Bowlers. Bro, 4 Pro Bowlers. We've got the savvy on this team, but it's just not lining up. The talent is not lining up, and we're seeing a lot of holes, and teams are poking the holes, bro. They're poking the holes, and they're just letting the flaws are showing up on screen. Like you can't lose to the Texans, bro. I don't care. You can't lose to the Texans. You can't. And now
you can lose to the Texans if you don't lose to the Miami Dolphins or you don't lose to the Atlanta Falcons. That's the thing. When you lose those games, then you can't lose games like this. You have already scratched off your bad losses, right? But now they're not just bad losses; they're consistent losses. Now, and we talked about this pregame. What version of the Buffalo Bills are going to show up? I mean, once again, now we're getting batches here. Where it's a week or two of, oh, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Oh, my God, I've never felt worse. Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. Oh, I've never felt worse. And obviously in the playoffs, you can't have one of those moments where you never felt worse. You can't, because every single one of those teams you'll go up against will beat you if you have one of those moments, because how couldn't they? You lost to the Atlanta Falcons. You lost to the Miami Dolphins. You lost to a Davis Mills-led offense. How could you not argue that the Buffalo Bills would lose to any team in the playoffs if they have anything shy of their best outing? And, you know, as much as I think Josh Allen's had his struggles this year, you can't expect Josh Allen to rattle off 3 or 4 consecutive unbelievable performances where, you know, he looks like a gold jacket Hall of Fame player every snap of every game, because, frankly, that's what they're going to need in order to even have a chance, really. And you cannot bank on that. As much as we love the guy and as great as he is, everyone's human. You cannot expect the guy to have 4 games like he did against Tampa Bay in a row. Because even in that Tampa Bay game, Rico, 6 touchdowns, and that game still came down to the wire. It still came down to the wire. It wasn't like they routed Tampa Bay. So they needed Josh Allen to have 6 touchdowns just to win the football game. Not win it comfortably, but just to win it. The Ravens game, week 1, Josh Allen had to have an historic second half just to win the game by 1 point. So moving forward here, it's a rough reality that's starting to set in, because I think you mentioned it earlier, and it's the one thing I think we don't want to talk about. It's not just this year, because these other teams are going to get better, and you're watching Kansas City going through this as well. But once again, the difference is Kansas City could have a losing season, Rico, for the next decade. And if you're a Chiefs fan, I mean, in all honesty, how mad could you really be about it? You just went on a run of a lifetime. If the Bills if this winds up going the way it's going and it continues to decrease like this marginally, you're going to look back at this,
bro,
and it's going to always be like, you know how people talk about, oh man, the one that got away. You're never going to have this again. We waited 25 years between opportunities like this. In fact, I wasn't even alive for the first one. I waited my whole life for an opportunity like this. And if it gets squandered, I mean, sorry, not everybody's the Green Bay Packers where you just luck into getting Brett Favre, and then Aaron Rodgers, and then Jordan Love. I mean, it's the Buffalo Bills. In all likelihood, what's going to happen if they don't wind up figuring this out? It's going to probably be another 5th. Josh Allen saved this franchise. He saved the franchise. And even though he saved it, Rico, and they became one of the most popular and fun and entertaining teams in football, the way things are going right now, at the end of the day, when the book is written, all that's going to be shown for it is some heartbreaking losses at the end of the year and a Josh Allen MVP.
Heartbreaking losses and a Josh Allen green jacket. That's what it's going to be. He's Hall of Fame bound. But like, fam, you got to get that. You got to get that Super Bowl. But right now, the Super Bowl, watching a game like today, bro, the Super Bowl is in the far distance. And the way that we're trending, it's the Super Bowl trophy is getting smaller, and smaller. By the time that you think that, shoot, is it over and done with? Bro, we're moving on to another quarterback because Josh is now at his fill. Now, we're not there yet. We're here right now. So my question to you, as I'm watching this team play, you're Brandon Beane. You're watching this product on the field. what are you in your mind? And I'm going to try to do the same thing in your mind. In the chat, I want you guys to help me in this. What are you doing? Like, what are you thinking at this point? You just saw your defense a shell of themselves, and I get it. They're hurt. They're banged up. They're losing guys left, right, and center. There was a series, at least you saw like multiple guys go down from both Texans and the Bills side. But you're Brandon Beane. You're watching this team. Where do you go from here? What can you do? Because the deadline's over. Are you going to bring in more free agents? Like, what is your plan for this team to help your quarterback? I'm putting you on the spot, but I'm going to put myself on the spot as well. What are we doing?
I don't know. I thought the answer last year was going to be invest heavily in the defense, and they did. And in many ways, like, there's no way you could have told me going into this year that the defense wasn't going to be better. And I don't think it is. I mean, the run defense is as bad as it gets. And that's the other thing that's so frustrating about this game. The running game didn't even matter. I mean, you legitimately lost shutting them down in the run game based on what you've been doing against other teams.
Yep.
And you lost basically from 30 minutes of football. 30 minutes of football is all it took for the Texans to win this game. They had 20 at half. They didn't even need that field goal in the second half to win it. I mean, like they scored enough in the first half with Davis Mills to win the football game. And the key here is they did not run it to be able to do it. Like the Atlanta Falcons game, they couldn't stop Bijan Robinson. You know what I mean? The Miami game, they couldn't stop Devon Achane. That's the more frustrating thing here. Like you listed off the numbers earlier. The defense wound up doing enough. But going into this year, I would have said Brandon Beane's got to go all in on the defense. And you can't say that he didn't. I mean, you can't say that he didn't. They invested nearly every draft pick they had into the defense, numerous offseason signings. You had some bad luck. Like Michael Hoyt comes out, he looks phenomenal, immediately gets hurt. Ed Oliver looked like he was going to have a breakout year, immediately gets hurt. You know, Joey Bosa, a great signing. That seems to be the only real silver lining here right now. Maxwell Hairston, he was hurt all throughout halfway through the year, and now all of a sudden you're expecting him to become somebody that's going to save your defense, a rookie halfway through his year off of an injury. So that's one thing. Now, with as much capital as you've invested into the defense, Rico, as many assets as you invested, you still feel as though you have to completely reinvest in that again. But the problem is you can't reinvest everywhere, and this offense needs about as much of an overhaul as the defense got this past offseason. I mean, I'm looking at this offense, and there's no way to me, if you told me Brandon Beane drafted 3 receivers in a row in April, I'd say, oh, good. If you traveled into the future and came back and told me that's what happened, I'd say, good. I mean, the amount of work that has to be done in that department. And then you mentioned it, they're broke, right? I don't know what they're going to be able to do in the offseason in terms of landing a free agent. That would also be something that I would look at. But once again, I mean, is this team right now, Rico, one big move away? It doesn't feel like that. That's why you look at the Philadelphia Eagles. They've nailed all their draft picks, and they made major offseason acquisitions. You add A.J. Brown. You add Saquon Barkley, right? You add numerous pieces to that defense to allow them to become one of the best in the NFL. And you're looking at these teams like the Seahawks, the Rams, like I mentioned, the Eagles. And then you're looking in the AFC side of things right now where New England's only going to get better. I think Denver's only going to get better. Their offense is abysmal right now, Rico. They're 9-2. Like the Bills can't get much going on offense on any given week. It's up and down. Denver doesn't have an offense any week, and they're 9-2. The problem is right now, the Bills do not have one thing in particular that they're great at. The only thing that they're great at is that they have one great player, and they need one player to be great pretty much every snap to win. And I know James Cook's been incredible, and that's really helped this offense this year.
Yep.
But the problem is there's so many other deficiencies on the outside that it winds up kind of bringing that back down to the mean. When your run game's so good and the quarterback's so good, that's one thing. But when the defense can't stop the run and when you can't have a consistent passing game, it kind of eliminates how much of an impact that is against better teams in the NFL.
Let me get in something because you said something that really reminded me where I wanted to go later on. So a bit personal, but not really that personal. So my father passed when I was 9. My sister was 8, right? So I have my mom raising the 2 of us, single mother doing what she's got to do, and I had an older brother, okay? So the reason I bring this up is because when you see mom is working full-time job and then mom is coming home and then having to cook dinner and then having to do this and having to do that, bro, there comes a time where you're like, bro, I'm looking at my mom do all this stuff in this house. Bro, I got to pick up my socks and help out mom so I don't feel like the burden is on her. Who on this freaking team is going to pick up their socks on and do their responsibility to their best of their abilities to help out mom, aka Josh Allen's trying to do everything he can, the franchise player. Nobody's picking up their socks. I guess you could say James Cook would be the one that's helping out.
Yeah, that's it.
Where's the rest of the cats on this team that's helping me out? My O-line, y'all let me down today. Defensive front, not a single sack on Davis Mills. Are you kidding me? You had him wrapped up multiple times. Y'all let this brother slide right out of your grasp. Linebacker crew, not a whole lot. The DBs, not a whole lot. Nobody's picking up their socks to say, let me do my part. I guess I can say the only other person on defense would be Cole Bishop. But that's it. Nobody. Bro, there's 22 guys that I need some help from, man. And you got nothing? Coaching staff? What are you guys doing to prepare this team? Bro, I'm going to tell you right now, the Texans preparing for this team must have been one of the easiest film sessions to watch. Predictability, like nobody's doing the extra beyond the sticks moves. Nobody. It's not happening. Josh Allen's happened to be single mom doing all this stuff and trying to do everything he can. And now he's doing things out of character that's got him trying to do too much, but hinders the team. Bro, this team is not doing enough for them to even push to see if they're going to be in a playoff team. They didn't look like a playoff team at all today, and let alone a Super Bowl. So now, what the hell does Bean do? What the hell does Pagula do? What the hell does McDermott do? You can only your message becomes stale at one point. Now, I'd love to see what the rest of the season is going to look like, because if message is not resonating, and now you have this Keon Coleman mess that you got to deal with on top of that, fam, not good. These guys need to pick up their socks. Y'all are all professionals. Pick up your socks and do something. Or, like I said a couple weeks ago, team meeting, because this ain't working. Inconsistent. Players only team meeting. We need to figure this crap out, because if we don't, we might as well prepare for a 10-7 season. Golly, man, this thing is sickening. My goodness, man. Yo, and you know what? I'm not done, man. I'm a big fan of Brandon Beane, but Brandon Beane, this is a lot. This is a lot on you, my G. This is a lot on you. A lot is you double dipped and went 2 defensive tackles. Could you have gone somewhere else to help this team? Obviously. You feel me? And you put your eggs in the basket on this defense. And is it showing me anything that's going to look good for the future? Question mark. I know it's only 1 year in, a big question mark, because there's going to be a lot more questions coming your way in this offseason if you don't get it together now. It's rough. It is rough, man. It's rough. So at the end of the day, it's one game at a time. Maybe this was a bad game, but guess what? We said that about this game, the Houston Texans. We said it against the Atlanta Falcons. We said it against the Miami Dolphins. Bro, how many of these bad games we're going to have if we're supposed to be contenders? We're not supposed to have these many bad games. We're not. Maybe 1 or 2. The last 5 years, we're accustomed to. You know that one game that we lose that we're not supposed to lose? That's usually the one. We've had 3. 3. Come on, man. Maybe the Patriots was the only one that it's 50-50, but you're not supposed to lose to the Dolphins. You're not supposed to lose to the Falcons. You're certainly not supposed to lose to the freaking Davis Mills-led Texans. Get the heck out of here with Nick Chubb. That's a shell of himself, and Will Marks. Get the heck out of here, man. Get out of here. I ain't trying to hear any of that crap.
Losing games the way that they are, too. I mean, how many games this year does it look like gaining 5 yards on offense seems next to impossible? I mean, that's why when Khalil Shakir fumbled that football, I could have vomited, because they couldn't gain a yard. And then they finally get a first down and out of their own end zone. By the way, the field position in this game was terrible. I mean, give credit to Houston. They pinned him so many times. They had no field position to work with whatsoever. And then when they did get good field position, they either failed on a 4th down conversion or just flat out didn't come up with any points, right? But that fumble from Khalil Shakir was massive because that led to another 3 points for Atlanta. At the very worst, you punt it again there, Rico. And if they don't get 3 points there, maybe you have an opportunity to win the football game with a field goal. The offense couldn't do. Here's the thing. When the offense struggles as much as it does to have any consistency, you can't turn the ball over, much less 3 times. That's the key. Like, it's one thing to not be prolific consistently. Like, we've seen some great passing outings, like against the Chiefs or against the Bucs, but there's really been no consistency there. But you can overcome that if you play clean football. And that's what they did last year. They didn't turn the ball over and they didn't get sacked. I don't know if you saw the number, Rico. The sack numbers this year are at an all-time high for Josh Allen. And when you compare it to last year, it's borderline disgusting. Last year, the sack rate on third down, Ben Slolak tweeted this out, just to give you an example, the money down, third down. In 2024, Allen was sacked on 4.4% of third downs. This year, he's being sacked on 15% of dropbacks on third down. So last year, you didn't turn the ball over and you didn't get sacked. They got sacked 20 total times a season ago. So not only are you struggling in the pass game, but you're getting sacked far more and you're turning the football over in these games where you're struggling to move the ball. Like on that Khalil Shakir fumble, for instance, even if that's just an incompletion and they have to punt, I don't trust Davis Mills in that offense to go down there and score again because they hadn't been able to do it all second half. And if they don't score again, I think the Bills end up being able to win this football game with a field goal. But the little things in this one, once again, there were so many little things that wound up, like the extra point right off the bat, wound up being a massive, massive difference. Oh. The offsides for Deion Dawkins, the fumble for Khalil Shakir, and then the interception that Allen did throw. I don't know what he was looking at. The corner was just sitting there baiting him. He was waiting, right? And then the offensive line here was it was so bad in this game. They had no answer. They had no answer in this football game whatsoever. But then I got to go to Joe Brady because this is now the second time Atlanta and Houston where you knew what you were going into. You knew the type of defense you were going into. You knew the type of pressure they could generate. And it only felt like he had a couple of moments where he was able to dial something up to beat that. Like tonight, we watched that dump off to Khalil Shakir. It was beautifully designed. I love that. But more often than not, it's just not existing. There's just nothing there. Maybe you'll get a creative play every now and then. But the 8 sacks, yes, a lot of it has to do with the offensive line having one of their poorer nights of the entire season. But it didn't feel like anything was crafted up to make anything easy. And that's the problem. Nothing's coming easy at all for this offense. Absolutely nothing. Tyrell Shavers has an incredible game last weekend. Where was he in this game? Did he even get a target? Like absolutely nothing. Gabe Davis only got a couple of targets. There just didn't seem to be any emphasis on trying to get guys the ball other than Khalil Shakir with their nonstop screen passes. The only thing I liked in this game that we wound up seeing translate from last weekend was getting the running backs involved in the pass game. I thought Ty Johnson had a really good football game. I thought that he was pivotal in the pass game. But, I mean, in reality right now, what we've seen from this offense, I think it just is what it is. I think you're going to have moments where they do show signs of being what we're used to them being. But you now have 4 performances, Rico, where they literally it feels like they're in quicksand and they're just trying to find their way out of it the entire football game. And I don't care who you're playing because we've seen it. They've lost to 3 mediocre to bad quarterbacks, and it really didn't matter because they just couldn't do anything on the offensive side of the ball.
I was just watching a clip of all 8 sacks of Josh Allen. Do you know how bad this O-line played today?
It was so bad.
This O-line played abysmal. And 2 things. When your O-line cannot block and your receivers can't get open, that's a recipe for disaster. If your O-line is playing good enough where you can kind of buy time, Josh Allen, like he always does, that's a whole different ballgame. But when your O-line is playing poor and your receivers can't get open, you're dead in the water. But yet we were still close enough. But if you really look at what took place here, a long run by James Cook,
right?
A kick return touchdown that we got by the grace of a bumped kick returner turns momentum to another direction, and he's out for 6. That was it. Field goals. That was those 2 touchdowns, 1 special team touchdowns, 1 big run by James Cook, and then field goals the rest of the way. Fam, terrible. But I'm going to tell you right now, man, Spencer Brown was an absolute liability today. I'm watching the clips. This brother was horrible. I understand Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson are amazing. They're elite. But I'd like to think that Spencer Brown is not elite, but very good. So very good versus elite, at least there's going to be a battle. I'm going to lose more than I win, but I can't lose them all. And that's what it felt like today. Spencer Brown was losing it all. You got Deion Dawkins half blocking, piss poor blocking, not going full out, and you have the nerve to try to get on Keon Coleman about not going full out. Bam, you weren't going full out. That's your quarterback. You got to go full out all day, every day. You know what he's about. You know that it's never dead with Josh Allen. He's going to keep going. You got to block until the freaking whistle. We didn't get that. We didn't absolutely get that. But the O-line was, when you watch it for yourself, Bot, you're going to be like, dude, like Josh had no time. And the time that he did have, some decisions were great. Some decisions were just not good. But it starts up front, and we got beat up on the front, and we got the O-line that's not even the foul. The Texas O-line is not even a good O-line. And they were pushing us around like you wouldn't believe. I couldn't believe my eyes today. We got beat up in the trenches. And that's where you lose games. You get beat in the trenches, you lose games, and now you have a non-happy fan. You have what we call not a good camper, not a happy camper. No, ain't nobody was happy today. That was a bad performance. The O-line, man, they let Josh down. They let Josh Allen down. That to the point where Josh sat down. I'm sure you saw it. It's been going viral. He slams his helmet down, looks over at Mitch Trubisky and says, "What are we doing? What are we doing?" Bro, he's frustrated, man. He's frustrated. And if I'm Josh, bro, I'm going up into Brandon Beane's office. Bam. I try to keep my mouth shut, or I try to, I don't know what kind of relationship they have. They seem to have a good one. They got to figure it out. Quarterback, GM, because it doesn't seem like GM is going anywhere anytime soon. Neither is a head coach. It feels like these guys are going to stick around for a while, which could be problems, because there's a guy by the name of John Gruden that's out there that I would not mind them saying, you know what, Johnny, you want to coach Josh Allen? With pleasure. I'll come out there. Now, at this point, I'm speculating, and I hate that I'm even speculating this crap. It's just annoying. It's frustrating as a fan. And guys that cover the team, you're trying to find silver lining in this, but like the only thing that's in my face right now is all the negative crap that went down. So is there any positive that we can touch on in this game? Like you say, well, hold on. Although there was a lot of bad, where was the good in this? Where could we find silver linings that we could be proud of and say, you know what, hold on. We're not dead in the water yet. We still got some life left. Chalk this up as this was just a bad game. Throw it in the trash. Let's restart. But where did you find that there was some positive or a silver lining in this?
Not doing it. I don't care anymore. I'm done sitting here trying to find.
Care.
No, I want you to care. Not gonna care. You're not getting from me. I'm not sitting here giving you a silver lining anymore. I'm not sitting here giving you a silver lining on a team that's come in year after year, supposedly being the favorite to win the championship. And I got to sit here and defend the little things I see that make me feel confident in their ability to end up doing that. You know, this is the moment where I sit here. These are the moments where I sit here and I look back to the 13 seconds. And I look back to the ball going through Stephon Diggs' hands in the divisional round against Kansas City, or the ball going through the hands of Dalton Kincaid on that deep shot, or not drawing up a better play on that fourth down to beat Spagnuolo's blitz and get over the first down marker and finally beat Kansas City and go to a Super Bowl. You look back. These are the moments. I mean, I'm done sitting here in Josh Allen's 8th year. What is it? Year 7 or year 8? I'm always blanking. Whatever.
Year 8 to year 9.
So you're looking at how long you've gone into this. I mean, are we still sitting here trying to find the positives in losing to Davis Mills in week 12 of the NFL season? I just can't do it. It's not like we're the Carolina Panthers, Rico, who are having a good year based on their standards. And if they lose, you're sitting here saying, oh, let's find the positives in this because we're 6-5. And man, we were just a couple of years ago, we barely won a football game. So what's the positives you can take away in losing by a couple points to Houston? That's not what this team is. I can't sit here anymore and tell you the little things that I saw that we can build on against a loss to Davis Mills or a loss to the Atlanta Falcons, who are one of the worst teams in the NFL, or the Miami Dolphins, who are one of the worst teams in the NFL. I mean, what are we doing? We could sit here, Rico, and we could wax poetically about what we saw from Cole Bishop, right? We could certainly do that. We could sit here and say James Cook's one of the best running backs in the league. We could give credit to Ray Davis for taking that one to the house. Those things are all true.
But at the end of the day, what's it going to do for us? Because the only thing that this fan base and really anybody cares about is this team maximizing on a window that they had never had prior and that they're only going to have for a brief period longer here. I mean, when you're looking at this, yeah, Josh Allen might still have, 7, 8+ years left. That's great. But you've already exhausted all of the amazing opportunities you've had, and you're starting to see as time goes on, other teams get good too. There's not going to be dumpster fire after dumpster fire that continues to be that. Teams get better, and when you start to regress to the mean a little bit, this is what you're starting to see. And when you're losing to teams that are supposed to be inferior to you on a routine basis, well, what does that tell you? Are you really superior to them anymore? And this is the question you have to ask. Are the Buffalo Bills a superior football team in 2025, the way that we viewed them going into this year and we viewed them several years prior to this? And I think the answer is a resounding no. The Buffalo Bills are not a superior football team right now, much like the Kansas City Chiefs aren't either. But I'll reiterate once again, the Chiefs could lose every game for the next decade. And at the end of the day, you look back and you said, man, as a Chiefs fan, I lived through one of the greatest periods of being a fan of any team you could possibly look at. You're going to look at this Bills era, and if this continues down this line, you're just going to be even more sick. It's one thing to go through the drought because you knew you never had a chance. But when you had Josh Allen, you knew every year, not only did you have a chance, Rico, but they've gone into the year. How many years now being a top 3 favorite to win the Super Bowl? How many years have they come in where they're favored to win almost every single football game? So, no, I understand, it'd be nice to sit here and try to find the positives here at 1:20 a.m. on a Friday morning. I no longer can do that. I just can't do that because I am so sick and tired of getting to the point where it feels like we are falling down. It just feels like someone greased up the flagpole here and we're falling down it. It felt like we were at the top and we were climbing towards it, and it just feels like it's greased up and we're slipping down it, and it's making me sick. And it's games like this that you realize, Rico, that you just don't think that this football team is going to be capable of doing what everybody wants them to do.
I'm so glad you went there. The grease off the pole. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but we're gonna go there. All right. So the Bills right now are 7-4. Just based on, and I want the chat to play along with this. Just play with me on this. All right. So the Bills are 7-4. We came off a terrible loss. We were really high, and now we're really low. And now the Bills gotta like perk themselves to get back up to being high again. That's tough in the NFL. You got Pittsburgh next. Based on what you saw today, a win or a loss there? Just curious. Play with me here.
Dude, I
know.
Can't take the coward. I cannot confidently pick this football team to beat any team with a winning record right now.
Okay, so you're gonna give them
with confidence. Here's the thing. Let me just say something about the Pittsburgh game. By the way, 3 of their losses this year are on the road. That game's in Pittsburgh. It's a tough ass place to play. So
heck yeah, it is. Okay,
yeah.
So that's a loss. Cincy.
You know who they've struggled with against just as bad as they have against the Houston Texans? The Cincinnati Bengals.
I know. And guess what? Joe Burrow's warming up, by the way, and he's gonna have Jamar Chase back from suspension, and on top of that, he's got T. Higgins.
You're gonna have to score 40 points in that football game.
Of course you will.
So they can do it, but here's the thing, Rico. If I have to tell you I need 40 points from this team to win, well, how does that make you feel? Not terrible. Good.
So
I'll tell you this: they'll win. They'll win one of those 2. They'll split those games. That's how I see it.
Okay, so I'll give
either
a W.
One. Take either one.
Okay, Pats.
I don't think they're going into New England. I don't think they're going into New England.
I'll do it for you. L. No. Okay, nope. I'll do it for you. Christian Gonzalez is a G. They got a good pass rush. They got a good run game, and they can throw the football. That's an L. Cleveland.
They'll win that game like 14-11.
That's trap game. All right, so that gives these guys 9 wins and 6. We split that, so we're 9-6 in the next 4. Okay. The reason I'm bringing this to you is I'm looking at the Dolphins. Do you know who the Dolphins face the next 4 opponents? By the way, the Dolphins are 4-7. The Dolphins face New Orleans. Give me the Dolphins with a win on New Orleans. Yep. I know they got Tyler Shough, but give me the Dolphins to win in New Orleans. New York Jets. New York Jets blow right now. Give me the Dolphins to win against the New York Jets. I know it's a division game, but give me the Dolphins. Pittsburgh, toss up at this point. Maybe not, right? Let's just give them an L. And Cincy, who knows how this is going to play out? I don't know. Win or loss. Pick one.
I think they lose both those football games.
All right. So that puts the Dolphins at 6-9 at this point. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, 9-6, 6-9, the Dolphins can easily go on a run, is what I'm trying to tell you. Because right now they're on a roll right now. They're on a roll. And the way this pole is being greased right now and the Bills are on the way down, the Dolphins could be on their way up. Now, who knows how that's going to play out? The point I'm trying to make is if we're free falling right now, bro, this ain't good. This is not good. So this is where something needs to give. Conversations need to be had. Tough conversations need to be had. So, and I love how they're using, and this is, I don't like it, and I'm being sarcastic when I say this. I love how they're using a message being sent to Keon Coleman because you mean this is the NFL and you got to this, bro. There's a message that's got to be sent to a whole lot of guys on this freaking team. Don't scapegoat my guy Keon Coleman, and I'm not saying that he's playing well and he shouldn't be. Absolutely, where he's at right now is where he's supposed to be. But there's a whole lot of conversations that need to be had with some guys on the squad that we need you to pick your socks up. Pick your freaking socks up, man. The Texans spanked us today. They absolutely came. DeMeco Ryan was like, bro, all that stuff you've been hearing about how weird it is when you come to Houston to play. Yeah, there's something about that. It is weird because we're gonna get after your tail. And they did. Will Anderson was absolutely monstrous. He made Spencer Brown look awful. Like, it was to the point where every drop back, Allen had something according to Next Gen Stats. I don't know if you've seen this yet. According to Next Gen Stats, I think it was Mr. Carl Jones that had this written. There was 53, hold on. 34 dropbacks. And we were pressured on 50% of those. 53% of those dropbacks. Are you kidding me? And you take, on top of that, you take 8 sacks and give up 70 yards? Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. This is crazy. By the way, Trent Brown gave up 0 pressures against Joey Bosa. Where the heck was Joey Bosa today?
Where's he been the last 2 weeks?
Are you kidding me?
And he's like the only
Trent
one right
Brown
now that you felt confident with. The losses of Hoyt and Oliver right now could not be more obvious. I mean, because you saw, that's the thing, like how much they look so good against Carolina and Kansas City. Where's that been? It's been gone. The last 3 games been gone, non-existent. They could not get after Tua, they could not get after Baker, and they could not get after Davis Mills at all.
And we put all the money in this defensive front. We put all that money in defensive front. I don't know what their fascination is with putting the money into the defensive front. You know the guys that these guys have, that you go after big-time free agent guys. Daniil Hunter, big-time free agent guy. Will Anderson, you got him in the draft because you were drafting poorly. You were playing poorly, so you got a high draft. Bro, we're not getting these high draft guys. So fire your whole scouting team and go get a new scouting team because it's not working. With this defensive front, it's just not working out. Like, it's just crazy to me. Bernard's out 2 weeks now, by the way. He's at least out 2 weeks with a dislocated arm or dislocated elbow. Bam.
I mean, who isn't out? I mean, that's the other thing, too. That's the unfortunate cherry on top of what seems to be just a putrid tasting Sunday. The injury list is just unbelievable. I mean, this thing looks like an encyclopedia that continues to add word after word after word. It's ungodly right now. It's never, ever ending. And then you add on top of that, of course, what's actually happening out on the field. You know, I'm looking at this, Rico. Here's the deal. They started 4-0. We can all be honest with ourselves here. That win over Baltimore was a once-in-a-lifetime win. You play that exact game 100 times, the Bills won the 1 out of 100 that go their way. They lose that game 99 out of 100 times. In an alternate reality where the Bills were down, 15 with 3 minutes left or whatever it was, say they lose that game like they should have. Right now, they're sitting at 6-5. They have the same record as the Carolina Panthers, just for example, right? But you do start 4-0. But in the second half of the season, you're 3-4, right? I'm looking at this. You listed off the games coming down the stretch here. And is it out of the realm of possibilities that they do lose to Pittsburgh, that they do lose to Cincinnati, that they do lose to Philadelphia, that they do lose to New England, and say all these things happen?
Yep.
And say that they do miss the playoffs. Once again, if Kansas City misses the playoffs, you think Andy Reid's going anywhere? You think any major moves are going to be made? Do you think Brett Veach is going anywhere? No. I'll say this, and I haven't said this maybe ever. If they miss the playoffs, or even if they get embarrassed in the wild card, something's got to give. I saw a stat tonight that I did not know of until this evening that I frankly couldn't believe because I didn't think it was this bad. They flashed a graphic on the broadcast, Rico.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
When the Buffalo Bills are trailing at half, Sean McDermott is now 15-36 in his career as a head coach of the Buffalo Bills. If they start the season off 4-0 coming into the year as Super Bowl favorites and miss the postseason, something's got to give. Something dramatic has to give. This team seems like it needs a major spark, and I don't know what that is, but a spark needs to be ignited nonetheless. So if this continues down this path where they lose to any decent team remaining that has a solid defense, and they wind up winning 9-10, because I got to tell you, Rico, 10 wins might not get you in here. 10 wins might not get you in.
It's not going to. It's not going to. I guarantee you that it's not going to.
And if 10 wins, Rico, would be what down the stretch? 3-4. They just went 3-5. They just went 3-4. And look at the teams they lost to. They didn't play the likes of Philadelphia or Pittsburgh or Cincinnati. So if that, like, it's not as insane as this is. We keep
throw Cleveland in there, by the way, because Cleveland's defense is nasty.
If Cleveland even had, to me, like the 25th worst offense in the NFL, they would have just beaten Baltimore on Sunday. They were beating the hell out of them all game long. Like, that defense is unbelievable.
If not for that drop pass by the receiver in the end zone, great play by the defense, but if he catches that, we're talking about, Shedeur Sanders doing his thing. He's going to get first-team reps. If he looks somewhat decent against this opponent that they face, I think they're facing the Raiders. If he looks decent against the Raiders, buddy, that Cleveland game is not going to be a cakewalk. So there's a lot to be said about what you just said. There's a whole lot. You said a whole lot there. You said a whole lot, but you didn't say what you wanted to say. Things got to change. So meaning either it's the GM or it's the head coach or it's both. If this crap continues, you can't bring that crap back. 15-36 after the half? Are you kidding me? So Josh has to be ahead of the game for you to finish those games? Bro,
pretty much.
I like McDermott. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I like McDermott. I'm a big fan of McDermott.
So Buffalo Fanatics, what's going on? This is Pierre the Kingpin, and I wanted to talk to you today about Cigars International, which is the ultimate destination for premium homemade cigars. Known as the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and a customer service experience that's second to none. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned vet, Cigars International makes enjoying cigars easy, approachable, and fun. Cigars International is the go-to retailer for all things cigars, with the biggest selection of premium homemade cigars available anywhere. Cigars International offers unbeatable deals and discounts, making it easy to stock up on your favorite or try something new without breaking the bank. With fast free shipping and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence knowing that Cigars International stands behind every order. They have good relationship with vendors that helps provide great low prices. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned pro, Cigars International makes it easy to find the right cigar with helpful guides, staff reviews, and expert advice. It's not just about cigars. Cigars International also offers a wide range of accessories and more to elevate your smoking experience. Check out the great deals every day at cigarsinternational.com. That's cigars, CIGARS, international.com. Use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigars.com www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply. Again, use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply.
If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why?
It's Super Bowl or bust this year. And if you don't get it, it's a results-driven business. You can't start now getting angry and benching players and doing that, this, that, and the third, and start now getting angry. Bro, you're 8 years in, my G. You're 8 years in. No, we gotta see some changes, man. Because you have to give credit to the teams that get ahead of it early because they see a trend happening, right? I'm not a stock guy. But sometimes when you see a stock is not doing well, I think you say, what is it? Sell. Yo, before I lose a whole lot, I got to sell now. Bro, it's not looking good. It's one of those things where you got to sell now. So Pagula, you got to do something here, bro. Because if you see this trending, and if you don't see the trend to where it's going right now, bro, you better wake up, because apparently the Sabres aren't any better. The Sabres have not been good in the last 5-6 years. So
way longer.
Sabres not being good the 5-6 years, and he hasn't done diddly squat. So are we expecting anything from him with this team? Bro, like, do they have to not make the playoffs for you to do something about this? Or is Brandon Beane going to say, well, the bad news is we didn't make the playoffs, but the good news is we're picking early so I can, make a couple trades and get an impact. Bro, I'm not trying to hear all that. You're not going to try to rope me back in to make me excited. Oh, we got a top 15 pick. Get the F out of here, bro. I'm not buying it. I want no parts of it. You had an opportunity to get Jalen Waddle to help this damn offense. If this defense is not going to be anything worthy enough, at least we can put points on the board. The defense did their job today, all broken and everything. They did their job. You know who's not doing their job? Coaching. You know who's not going to doing a good enough job? The GM. And it's just what it is. It's just what it is. But guess what? We're stuck with these cats until we figure it out how this is going to play out. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. By the way, the Sabres haven't won a playoff game in 14 years. There you have it. That's absolutely nasty. That is absolutely nasty. How do you root for the Sabres? I guess that's how the freaking the Miami Dolphins feel. That's gross. Are you kidding me? 14 years ago, wasn't it Dominic Hasek still in the league? Am I wrong?
That was Ryan Miller. Ryan Miller was the last time they won a playoff game.
Oh my Lord!
You're looking at this, and the problem is 2 of the last 3 years, Brandon Beane's top picks are looking like. I mean, I don't want to put the B word on Coleman yet, but my God, you just benched him 2 games in a row, a year and a half into his career. Kyer Elam, you had to ditch him. You couldn't ditch him fast enough. So those are your 2 top picks in 2 of the last 3 years. I love Dalton Kincaid. I love him. He is the top player on this offense when the Bills are throwing the football. Unfortunately, though, he just can't stay healthy. That's not Brandon Beane's fault. But if we're just looking at the top assets added, Elam and Coleman, it has not panned out. And then when we're looking at McDermott, the thing of it is I mentioned that stat, right? I mean, it's when does it get to the point when the buck stops? And the thing is, I've loved McDermott and I've loved Beane, and they have been such a pivotal part in allowing this team to become what they've become, where the franchise has been resurrected into a team that you're excited about and that has a chance to win every year. But this is year 9 for Sean McDermott. And I think if in year 9, with all the opportunities they've had, in year 9, where you go in as the Super Bowl favorite, if they were to miss the playoffs, and not just miss the playoffs, Rico, but if Mike Vrabel is able to go into New England in year 1 and get the 1 seed, win the division with ease, have you ever seen a bigger indictment on this franchise right now? The Bills have not been able to get the 1 seed once with Josh Allen. In all likelihood, in year 2 with Drake May and in his first year as head coach of the New England Patriots, I'd put all my money right now on the New England Patriots to be the number 1 seed with their remaining schedule. That to me is just it's the additional straw on the camel's back that could break it. I mean, you haven't been able to do that with an all-world quarterback, and in 1 year they come in and do that. I'm not I really do like McDermott and I really do like Bean, but once again, I'm looking at this and how long can you continue down the same path and get and have it get worse, right? Like this was supposed to be the year where you have the schedule, the Chiefs down, the Ravens started 1-5, and you're losing to Miami and Atlanta and Houston. It's almost like if you're at your job, like you've done a great job, but when does it get to the point when we need to rebrand almost? And I feel like a rebrand might be necessary if you go into the year as Super Bowl favorites and you miss the playoffs or you get routed in the wild card. In New England and Mike Vrabel get the 1 seed instantly.
Yep.
Instantly. Like that to me right there, that one thing to me is a huge indictment on this franchise right now.
Rebranding is the way to phrase it. That's the only way to do it. Rebrand. Sorry, guys. You've done a great job. You've done your service. You've rebuilt this. You've made this a respectable franchise the last almost decade. You've been great, but we didn't get over the hump. So I can't continue with you guys. I can't do it. The results are there. You can't tell me we're close. We're not. We're actually further away now. The closest we were ever was last year. Last year we were close. The strongest we've ever looked was the year that we gave up that 13 seconds. I thought if we won that 13-second game, we were going to go and beat the Rams that game. Now, we would have beat the Rams. We would have been Super Bowl champs. I truly do believe that. We're further away. We are further away. Yo, Mans is older now. We got a whole bunch of rooks on the team that we're trying to develop and stuff like that. Late round. We don't have the juice. The Bills do not have the juice right now. The juice is in Josh's hand alongside James Cook. We're starting the last 3 games. We're starting to see Cole Bishop. But ain't no juice on this squad, bro. Ain't no juice. So now we got to figure it out. We got to figure it out. By the way, 53% of Josh's dropbacks. 53%. Are you freaking kidding me? Hold on. I was looking at it just a moment ago. Carl Jones had it up on his screen. 53 according to Next Gen Stats. This guy was sacked on 53% of his dropbacks today, folks. Think about it. Sacked on 53% of his dropbacks. Oh,
pressured you.
Unbelievable. So now, I mean, as a head coach, what are you telling your team? What are you telling your team as a head coach? We were close. We were 1 score away. We. Holy jumpers, man.
I mean, do you know in the Miami game, they were nearly a 10-point favorite. In the Atlanta game, they were nearly a 10-point favorite. And in this one, they were a touchdown favorite. They lost all 3 of them.
Yep.
Like, once again, it'd be one thing if you're losing to quality opponents and you're looking good in doing it. Everybody has a bad game or two. Like, this team has strung off some abysmal performances. Once again, in a year where the expectations were higher than they've ever been. You just came off of an exceptional AFC Championship performance and you fall 3 points shy. And you come into this year and you really revamped the D and you added players on the offense that you felt like was going to upgrade what it was last year. This team, unequivocally, Rico, this year has declined. It is safe to say, going into week 13, compared to last year, this team has shown noticeable regression.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any bones about it.
You said it best, man. It's a flagpole and it's greased up, and we were near the top of the flagpole, but bro, that grip, we're holding on as tight as we can, but it's slipping slowly. It's a slow slip. It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope, my G. I'll tell you that right now. And by the way, according to Next Gen Stats, that safety Kalen Bullock, this brother was responsible for all 3 turnovers in this game. The forced fumble against Khalil Shakir and the 2 interceptions against Josh Allen. those 3 turnovers, that forcing the fumble added 35.7% in the win probability across the 3 takeaways. Buddy, be the one guy.
You know what's crazy about that? You know what's absolutely insane about that? And you don't have to put a whole lot of stock in this, but it just gives you an idea.
Yep.
When you're looking at Bullock, like on PFF, he was ranked towards the bottom of the league at the safety position. So it's not like you're out there going against Ed Reed.
Here's another one for you. Will Anderson Jr. He generated team high 9 pressures by himself alone. Sometimes there's games where you have 9 pressures. This guy alone had 9 pressures and he had 2.5 sacks. With 6 of those pressures coming against right tackle Spencer Brown.
And I think Spencer Brown got no. It was such a bad day for him. He got hurt. I mean, it was him and Dion, man, and they've had such a great year. They've been the cornerstones of this team, but they really played a large part in this one going the way it did tonight.
Anderson spent 14 seconds pressuring Josh Allen today. That's the most in a game over the last 4 seasons.
How about the play where he got knocked on his ass, Rico, and got back up and still sacked Allen? He fell down. He fell down, got up, and still sacked him.
Bro.
Dude,
Man,
you're looking back at the Carolina game, Rico, and the Bills sacked Andy Dalton 7 times. And what are you saying to yourself? Oh my God, well, it's Andy Dalton. The Bills got sacked 8 times tonight. 8. I mean, go back to that. You're looking at that performance the Bills had against Carolina, and you're stoked about it, but then you might discount it a little bit because it's Carolina. It's Andy Dalton. The Bills just had a worse outing than that. A worse outing than that. I can't understand how you can possibly get sacked 8 times. The only way I can foresee you getting sacked 8 times is if you have a statue-type quarterback. You know, you have one of those pocket passer quarterbacks that's just immobile, can't do anything. That's not what you have. The amount of things that have to go wrong for you to get sacked 8 times in a game with Josh Allen, I can't even wrap my mind around it.
It's crazy. It's actually crazy. So here we are. The Bills are 7-4, losing to the Texans, Dolphins, Falcons, Patriots. Out of those 4 games, at the time of loss, the Bills faced 3 teams with losing records. How about that? There's a stat for you guys. So we got things to catch up on.
How defeated are you feeling right now?
Listen. Let me tell you how the game ended. The game ended like this. Okay, I'm watching the game. I'm like, holy crap! It's 4th and 25. All right, this is it. This is game, right? My heart is rested. I'm expecting nothing. Hook and ladder, first down. Now I'm propped. I was like this on my chair. I was like, here we go. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute. 4th and 25, first down. We got a chance. So now we're marching. We're moving the ball up. And then the inevitable interception happens. And I'm like, holy crap, we were close. I'm like, wait a minute. Was that Dawson Knox wide open? And I'm like, we had a chance to take this game.
He was wide open.
So now I'm sitting there in disbelief what I just watched. And then I wake the wife up. I said, go to bed. She's like, did we win? She looked at my face. She's like, sorry, honey. I'm like, no, bro. I'm not even trying to hear that. Yo, just let me be for a minute before I go and do my thing. And here we are. Get my blood pressure rising. Like, oh, shit, we're about to take some. Here we are. Right back at it again. So now I'm sitting here like, bro, what? If I'm a player on this team, if I'm Josh Allen on this team, I want to lash out. I want to yell. I want to scream. I want to point fingers. But he's got to be the professional. He's got to be the guy that says, hey, when we have a chance to win, we got to put it. We didn't do enough. Bro, Josh has got to be sick and tired of saying the same things over and over and over and over again. We didn't do enough. We didn't do enough. No, they didn't do enough. They're not helping you out. Because when they're helping you out, you are the elite. You are the best in the game. You have people like Colin Coward and all people saying this is one of the best athletes I've ever seen play. And you have a GM that's like, yo, take this guy and that guy. And I always joke that, Tom Brady didn't have a whole lot. But you know what he did have? Gronkowski. The guy that he can sit there and count on when push comes to shove. Bro, who you got? You had Diggs? until you ran that brother out the freaking stadium. I don't know who did, whether you want to call it was Brady or if it was McDermott. He ain't here no more. So now what? Sickening, man. It's sick. I'm sick. What are we gonna do? Now we got 10 days to mull over this nonsense. And then we got to go up against a tough Pittsburgh Steelers game. So there you go. And that defense is going right now. Oh, by the way, you know who you face? TJ Watt. And who's banged up? Spencer Brown. You thought Will Anderson was a problem. TJ Watt is coming for your ass. Oh, yeah. Be ready for that.
How do you convert that 4th and 27 and still lose? How do you not take the gift that you just literally pulled off a miracle. If you run a 4th and 27 play 100 times, you're getting it once and you got it. How do you lose? How do you lose after that? To get a 4th and 27 just to wind up going off sides on 4th down? To get a 4th and 27 and not have the ability to throw a couple balls at the end zone before trying to get out of there with it. I cannot believe they converted that and they still lost. You're getting that conversion and you're thinking to yourself, this team doesn't deserve to win worth a damn. They turned it over 3 times, got sacked 8 times, and they just pulled off the best play of the year. And then you want to know what that 4th down reminded me of, by the way, Rico, 4th and 6. Okay. It reminded me exactly of the 4th down play against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
Oh, yeah.
Where the blitz came out, they came absolutely rushing. No one got a block off, and Allen's backpedaling for his life and just has to rifle it. Yep. How do you not know that's coming?
And that's where your officer, your coordinator says, "Hey man, they're gonna be coming, Josh. They're gonna be coming. So look for that. Let's call that. You know what I mean? There's that. This guy's gonna break out. Look for that. Look for that. Whatever play the hell's that you're gonna call. I just don't think it is.
How about the ref? By the way, I've talked about this before. How about when he called the offensive pass interference and he paused for a full second and then said offense so the crowd would go nuts for him? That's just pick me performative behavior. He was the ref who had to step in because the head ref tore his ACL or whatever. So He came in and he's like, oh, here's my moment. They're going to remember me. Comes in, pass interference, offense. I mean, it was just, I'm like, turn the damn TV
when
off.
I saw the flag, though, I said, wait a minute. We're destined. It's supposed to happen. And then, of course, I said, Gabe Davis. Of course. Not that it's Gabe Davis' fault. It's just, of course, it's on the Bills.
You just reminded me, by the way.
Squad, bro.
You just reminded me. How about Gabe Davis 1 foot down on the 1 yard line on that go route? I completely forgot about that.
You know what makes no sense to me? We celebrate and have and parade it. This is why I hate. I don't want to say I hate. I hate when someone has a big game and they prop this brother up and they prop. All we saw was shavers everywhere. Shavers. Bro, did Shavers even have an attempt thrown to him this game?
I don't think so.
What happened? What absolutely happened? You have a 6'4" receiver and you just say, nah, we good. We're just gonna deal with throwing to the tight ends and we're gonna deal with this, we're gonna deal with that. Come on, man. You mean Derek Stingley took him away? Was Derek Stingley saying, yo, Shavers is the big-time receiver on the squad. I'm going to take him away. I don't know, man. Shavers
on top of that.
No targets today. No targets. Make it make sense.
And on top of everything that went wrong, there were so many injuries that Thydock literally tweeted out, I give up. He couldn't keep up with it. I mean, everything's just it's like an avalanche right now.
Yeah, it's bad. Well, you know what it is, an avalanche right now? We got a lot of super chats to get through.
Yeah, we do.
We got a lot of super chats to get through. So listen, by the way, we got 749 of y'all on YouTube right now. We have another 2,500 of y'all that are on X right now. Appreciate you guys. It's love. Smash that like while you guys are here. Let's get this algorithm going. Listen, this is therapy for us. Believe me when I tell you that. We may sound like a broken record, but it's therapy for us. We're trying to work through it and get going. All right. So let's get to some of the super chats. First and foremost, we've got to definitely give a shout out to several people. Number one, I'm going to do a buzzer right at the end. We got Daniel that's become a new YouTube member. We appreciate you, Daniel. That's love. I got my guy, Serge Ibaka himself is joining us. I love it. Welcome back, Serge. Serge is like, yo, you know what? I like you so much. I'm going up. I'm coming back. We got my man, Bo Boris, coming through, becoming a new member. We got my guy, Kevin Ritter. What up, Kev? And then lastly, we have Dre the boy came through. He says, I want to become a YouTube member. So each and every one of you guys, we appreciate you. Much love. Can't say enough, man. Can't say enough. I know these losses are tough, but I'm glad that you guys have joined us and joined our community so we can keep rocking and talking these Bills and talking through these wins and losses. But these losses, I'll tell you, they're tough. What's our guy Led Drop saying, man? What's Money Mitch saying?
Mitch is saying the only consistency is inconsistency. Given the context, can't ask for much more than a chance for the MVP to win the game. He's lucky to be alive, by the way, says Mitch. Defense has no gap integrity and is too soft. Got to learn to win ugly. That's the one thing that's noticeable. The only one that seems to hit hard on this team is Cole Bishop. I mean, they got so out-physical and so outmanned in this game, it was embarrassing. I mean, it truly was. And, you know, on top of everything, Josh Allen's getting murdered out there. I mean, I cannot believe he got up. And he's hurt. He's hurt. Anybody else probably would have checked out of that game but him. I mean, we know the type of guy he is. The guy's hurt. And we'll see we'll see what comes from that. I mean, I didn't think he was going to get up off of that first hit. I can't believe that he did. My stomach literally did a 180. It felt like I got punched by Prime Tyson in the gut after that play. I can't believe he got up. And then later in the game again, Rico, right back to that wrist. And he's had wrist problems before. I mean, this season, I know it's insane, like 7-4.
Yep.
But does it feel like? Do you even give a shit about being? Does it even feel like it's any? Like, is there anything to be had from 7-4 right now, in your opinion? You know it. You know the ending of this story. You know it as well as I do.
I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm ready to go there.
Really?
I'm not sure I'm ready to go there. The sickness in me is like, bro, this was a bad game, but we're gonna get it together. This is the preserve the moment that this team makes me go into. Pissed off. But then here's me holding the umbrella over my squad, say, hey, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. But golly, am I ever mad? I am mad. I'm not going to lie. This was a tough loss to go through. Tough loss. Travis Calloway sent a message, but we didn't get the message, Travis. Oh, here we go. Travis says, yo, Joe Brady has to go. 0 adjustments. I totally agree. Allen had 0 time. This offense looks bad, just bad. It was not a good showing today. It was absolutely not a good showing. I knew that it was going to be tough at first. I knew Josh wanted to say, you know what? Last year they had a good hold on us. We're going to be better this year. But don't forget, guys, all these players that you faced against the Texans last year were a year younger, right? Now they've got a year of working their body, getting better, more experience, seeing things in the league. Bro, they're going to be nasty. They're going to be coming at you, man. So, like, you couldn't – although not a great game last year, you had a much better game this game. But some might say this was just as bad as last year. This was just as bad as last year. So nothing changes. Houston, you made us have a problem today. You made us have a problem, and we just could not recover. We absolutely could not recover. My man, Dan Echo, 4th and 27, all for naught. Banged up D, fought to give Josh Allen chances. Brady didn't adjust. There's another one. You're absolutely right, in my opinion as well. Texas D ate our lunch. Yes, they did. Someone called Salino and Barnes because this short turnover was an injury bonanza. The bar is now make the wild card. Isn't that sad?
The phone number right in the top left. Heard in a car. Call William Matar. I mean, I might give our friends over at William Matar a buzz after this one.
I'll tell you, man. I'll tell you. The game. It was like we were in a car crash. So get that number, man. Get that thing going. We're gonna need that. My man Blaze, what's up, Blaze? Says my Chargers play the Texans later, and I fear that Herbert may get hurt due to a horrible O-line. Well, listen, try to keep him alive, brother. Keep him alive and keep the Chargers' hopes alive. Because if Herbert goes down, you're cooked, absolutely cooked. What up, Sharon? What up, Sharon? He goes, I don't give a F what type of QB we have. This team isn't talented enough to win a Super Bowl. I mean, based on today's performance and the teams that we lost to, like Bot alluded to them. We lost to the Dolphins we had no business losing to. We lost to the Falcons we had no business losing to. Even though it was going to be a tough one, no business losing to the Falcons and certainly no business losing to the Texans, led by Davis Mills. Give me a freaking break. No dice. And they didn't even have their safety, Jalen Petrie, to go to boot. So,
Stroud, I mean, that's the other thing you can't even if by the grace of God, I mean, Rico, even if they found a genie and that genie granted them 3 wishes, and the 3 wishes were a wild card win, a divisional win, and an AFC championship win, any one of these NFC teams is running. They are just steamrolling them. I think the 3 best teams in the NFL right now, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Eagles. I guarantee you one of those 3 teams makes the Super Bowl. If by the absolute grace of God himself, this Bills team finds their way into playing February football.
Oh, my Lord.
On what planet are they beating one of those 3 teams right now?
Bro, we're about to get it. We're in several weeks, we're about to get a taste of that when Bills play the Eagles. So hold on to your britches, if they say. Hold on to your britches, brother. My man, Disappearing Man says, yo, not gonna lie. This game was just a nail in the coffin on how truly broken we are as a team. The season is over, in my opinion. Hard to have faith, but what do we have from here? Go Bills always. I mean, listen, it is hard to have this is why I love these post-game reaction shows, because it allows you to let your raw emotions out right here now, sleep on it, read articles, look at people that do professional film study and tell you this, that, and the third, and it'll confirm what you saw and heard, or you'll have a different perspective as to what you thought you saw and heard. And then you have another opportunity to now come back and present yourself and say, hey, yo, I was wrong. Maybe we were, or you come back and say, you know what? I was absolutely right. We blew. That's the beauty of having these post-game shows, because you have time to think and reflect and come back and tell you, did we see what we saw or was it false? And I have a feeling what we saw today was a lot of truth, that we're not very good. We're not very good right now.
You know what also happened tonight?
Talk to
Nail
me.
in the that was well said. If it hasn't become abundantly clear to you, there will not be a home playoff game at the Ralph in its final year. I mean, that you want to talk about a nail in the coffin? Tonight was a nail in the coffin in many ways. It was a nail in the coffin on the AFC East. Obviously, a nail in the coffin on the 1 seed. It was a nail in the coffin on a home playoff game at the Ralph to end the life of that stadium. I thought that was so well said that really resonated with me tonight. This felt very damning tonight. It felt very damning tonight.
It was tough.
It was so tough. Rico said, I got to go. And it just really did feel damning to where, you go in that Miami game and it was so bad. It was so bad. But to follow it up with a performance like you did against Tampa Bay, you couldn't help but be like, you know what? They learned something from that. And then they just go out and do it again. That's the thing. Like, they've done it so many times now that you can't help but fear it's going to just happen again. The other thing, too, is 3 of their 4 losses are on the road. And they're going to have to go on the road every single playoff game should they even get past the wild card.
Well, you don't deserve a home game. So, yeah, you're on the road.
God, no.
You're on the road. So the only silver lining of this, are you going to be the 2008 Giants? Was it 2008, 2013?
2007.
2007 Giants. You got to be the 2007 Giants. Go on the road and do it. So there's your silver lining in this, where you barely make it into the playoffs, and then we'll see what comes from it from there. But
the only silver lining is if the Chiefs don't make it, nobody has proven the ability to do anything in the postseason. It has quite literally only been the Chiefs. So it is anybody's game. I'm just looking at the opponents, and I'm comparing them to what they've played. Like, if you play Denver, that defense is going to just go absolutely. If you watch that defense, it's unbelievable. And plus it's in Denver. That's a really tough place to play.
Yep.
The Indianapolis Colts with that run game, the Baltimore Ravens, I just feel like you can only beat them the way that they beat them so many times. The only team right now that I would feel like halfway decent would be Pittsburgh, and I'll see how I feel about that next week after they play them.
You in line, brother. You in line. Moose says the only pressure we had is when Bishop blitzed. There were a couple moments we had some pressure, but we just couldn't corral and wrap up Davis Mills. There were times where we had him, and this guy would just like kind of slip out of it and throw it out of bounds, throw it at somebody's feet. Like it just was. We didn't get enough pressure to it. It was bad. Signified nose. Don't you just love watching this game and think about how we could have had Waddle, but our dumbass GM died on the hill of our first this year instead of next year? Oh man, absolutely. That's going to. I think that's going to be one of those situations that haunts Brandon Beane for a while. If he doesn't come through in this next draft, which I don't know how he will, but if he doesn't come through in this next draft, this Waddle situation is going to haunt him. And I don't want to hear, well, Waddle does get injury prone. Some at least the time that we would have had him, if he's injury prone or not, at least we would have seen something. Separation, speed down the field, et cetera, et cetera. We didn't get that opportunity. Instead, we're dealing with Shavers. We're dealing with Josh Palmer. We're dealing with Khalil Shakir. And we're dealing with Elijah Moore. All right, and Dawson Knox. Pardon me.
I'll take it a step further. I think it's going to end up – I think that moment single-handedly wound up turning a large portion of the fan base on Brandon Beane. You go back to the phone call that he had with Jeremy and Joe on the morning show on WGR before the year. Yep. You then compound that with that. Now also adding that Keon Coleman is benched 2 games in a row, the last wide receiver that you drafted, of course, to become the face of the locker room. I'm not kidding you. I really do think that Waddle move, which in many ways feels like it was the announcement of that news was made to try and make it seem like the front office did a good thing. Yeah, I think in many ways, Rico, it could very well be the downfall. I think right now, before that moment, Rico, I think there was a lot of people, including you and I, we've defended Beane and McDermott quite often. I think it was that moment where you look at it and you say, I'm sorry, I can't go to bat anymore. I can't go to bat anymore. You're going to let something as petty as a difference in 1 year of a draft pick separate you from trying to help out this guy at quarterback that is a unicorn that you'll never see again.
Yep.
I think he lost a lot of the fan base at the trade deadline, Rico.
You couldn't have said any better than that. I think, and that's how it is for me. The minute I heard why he didn't accept the trade is because he wanted to give next year's, instead of this year's. That's you digging in and being greedy and overplaying your hand, bro. He lost it there for me. And in order for him to get me back, he's got to come out there and have a fantastic draft, or he trades for someone that is epic. I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's got a lot of making up to do. But I just don't know. He may not even make it into this offseason. They might say, at the end of the year, depending on how this plays out, maybe Pagula was tough enough to say, either you make it or you break it. I need a Super Bowl. Oh, you're not going to give me a Super Bowl? You're out of here. Maybe it's not Pagula that makes it, Terry. It's Kim. Maybe Kim says, bro, I've seen enough. Either you give me something or you don't. Oh, y'all didn't do it? All right, you got to go. Sorry, bro. D.O. Yo, Dawkins, give back the keys to the city ASAP. Yo, what's with giving the keys to the city to people? What do you do with that? What's the purpose of that?
I don't know. I'm like a memorabilia junkie. I can't think of anything cooler than being given the key to the city. I think that is so cool.
What's the purpose? What does it signify? That you're a trusted member of the city or what? I never understood that. Does somebody know that? Please let me know. The key to the city. T.O. has one, for crying out loud.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah, give me a break.
They ought to give me a key to the city for putting up with this BS my entire life. I ought to get a damn key to the city.
Freaking unlock. We need to unlock some great things with this team, man. Holy jumpers, Fluffy Panda. And that was Josh's throwing hand he hurt. I don't think it was. I think it was it the throwing hand that he hurt?
It looked like it was to me. Yeah, I think it was.
Papa Bill, Deion Dawkins, and Spencer Bandage Brown were low-key pissing me off this whole game. They got Allen destroyed today. Bro, Allen did it to himself, and so did the O-line. The O-line did not do well today. I'm talking about guards. I'm talking about center. I'm talking about all. None of them did well. None of them. And Will Anderson was absolutely a mess. Mr. Clayton, what up, Mr. Clayton? South Carolina or LSU, please take Brady now. Yo, take him and don't let him come back. DEO says, yo, let's talk about the throwing the ball to our fullback to blow the team up, to be honest. Josh, put your foot down and say that we need this for our team. You are the captain. Your thoughts on that, what DEO just said?
I texted my dad. I said they just threw the ball to Reggie Gilliam on like first down. You know, it's one thing that like they drew up that 2-point conversion a week ago. It was beautifully designed. It was just overthrown. Allen didn't hit him.
Yep.
I think you are in a world of hurt when you are dialing up and out. You are dialing up and out route to Reggie Gilliam.
Yeah. And not that he can't do it. It's just no.
It's not an indictment on Reggie Gilliam. It's just the fact that you are having to throw the ball to your fullback.
Yep. No, you're bang on. You're bang on as always. Wyoming Proud. Yo, Wyoming Proud has been on my tail for a long time. He thinks I'm a Josh Allen hater. Let's see what he's got to say. He says, he or she, I apologize. Rico hates Allen. Yep, I hate Allen. I hate Josh Allen. Every loss is his fault, and every win is in spite of Josh Allen. He will glaze Lamar for a stat line. That is the most asinine, ridiculous statement that, I mean, listen, I appreciate your super chat. Don't get me wrong.
That might be Signified's burner, throwing in the Lamar thing on the back.
Let me get on Wyoming Proud. Let me get on Wyoming Proud for a second. You're biased. You're already biased by Wyoming Proud, number one. So whatever Josh does, you're going to love it. You're going to love when Josh's first playoff against the Houston Texans, you loved it when he did a backwards pass when he was getting tackled. You loved it because he was being creative. You probably thought, ooh, that's old Josh Allen. Sorry, Wyoming Proud. Cut it out. Grow up. Put your big boy pants on and start looking at the film for what it is, man. Sometimes Josh Allen is fantastic, and I will give him his flowers because he's deserving of them. But sometimes you have to understand, Josh Allen has had a standard now. So when he's playing below the standard, I'm going to talk about it. When he's playing at standard or above, he gets the flowers for it. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you like he's been great because he's the best thing on this team. If he's playing terrible, you got to know that he's playing terrible. Or he's not playing to the standard. So if you want to go back to watch highlights of Wyoming, go do that. But this is the big boy league now, my man. All right? But we appreciate that super chat. Appreciate it very much so. Wyoming Proud. Come on, man. It's all in your name, bro. It's all in your name. What's up? Dulac says, I'm sick of Allen making the staff look better than they are. Without Allen, Bean, McDermott, OC, Bobby, all would have been out here. You know what? Good quarterbacks keep people employed. And if the people that are employed by this good quarterback aren't doing their jobs, eventually they get sought out and they find out where the weak links are. And right now you're seeing it. The people that Josh has kept employed, they're not holding their part of the bargain to keeping Josh, you know what I'm saying, amongst the elite and keeping him amongst the elite. He's always going to be elite, but they're not giving him the help. So guess what? If they don't do their jobs, they're going to be exposed eventually because Josh can only do so much. This NFL is a bro. Everybody's got their role to play. You know what I mean? You always hear, you know what I mean, 111, do your 111. Well, you mean do your 114. You know what I'm saying? The coaching, the OCs, all that, do your 117. I mean, you gotta do more to help Josh. And right now it's just not enough.
We're living in a world where legitimately at the end of the year, Zach Taylor could get fired. John Harbaugh could get fired. John Harbaugh and Sean McDermott. The three coaches of the three best quarterbacks in the AFC, not named Mahomes. And I've had this idea for a long time. Dan Marino gets brought up so much as the best quarterback to never win one.
Yep.
There is a large part of me that thinks we will look back on this era in awe at the fact that Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow all combined for 0 titles. Because that to me is 3 Dan Marinos. And the only one up until this point who's even had a crack is Burrow.
And you in line.
I mean, have you ever thought? I think about that a lot. Probably more than I should. Dan Marino is brought up. He is synonymous with great, but never won one.
Yep.
Like Jim Kelly doesn't even get brought up in that conversation, really. Like it's always Dan Marino. You are looking at potentially 3 iterations of Dan Marino all within the same era.
So where does Josh fall? Is Josh a Phillip Rivers? Is he a Dan Marino? Like where does he fall in this, right? Because
Josh Allen is one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen, and this is why, and so is Lamar Jackson. It will be equally as damning for both of them. Unfortunately for Burrow, his stock has fallen because he can't stay healthy. And that defense is so beyond bad. Like you think the Bills D is bad, or you think their wide receiver core is bad, whatever. Nothing on either team, Baltimore or Buffalo, sniffs how bad Cincinnati's defense is. They have failed Joe Burrow immeasurably. But where Phillip Rivers, I don't think he's in the same stratosphere as Josh Allen. Because you don't look at Phillip Rivers and compare him to Dan Marino. You will think about Allen and Burrow and Lamar that way. Because if you look at Lamar and Allen, when it's all said and done, do we think that at least one more MVP will be won between the two of them? Or if we throw in Burrow there, right? Let's say Burrow, Allen, and Lamar play another 10 years.
Yep.
Is it safe to say that at least one more MVP is won amongst those 3?
1,000%.
Okay, so that at minimum there, that's 4 MVPs. 0 titles.
Crazy. And this is
why like, you go back to the Brady era, right, Rico?
Yep.
Like as great dominant as Brady was, Breeze still won one. Manning won 2. The Ravens defense won 1. Like, dude, Thank you.
Manning still won. You know what I mean? So like it's one of those situations. There's going to be moments where we got to steal one. You got to steal one. This would have been the year to steal yours. This would have been the year to steal one. Look at the Chiefs. Look at what the Chiefs are doing. The Chargers were supposed to be up there. Chargers are kind of looking kind of whack, and other teams are looking at the Bills. Hey man, the Bills, Chiefs, bro, this is our chance. We got to do this. Look at the Texans. The Texans got the win. This was a big win for the Texans. Puts them at 6-5 now. Now they're right in the mix. They're 1 game behind the Bills. And guess what? This loss, by the way, in our conference on top of that, doesn't bode well for the Bills. We've lost to the Dolphins conference. We've lost to the freaking
Patriots,
Texans, and the Patriots in the conference. Bro, not good. Not good at all. Not good at all. Signified Note says, yo, Rico, I think thine, are you going Old English on me? I think thine receiver problem is talent, but mostly Brady. Think of the receivers who had career years under Dable: Smoke, J. Cole, Diggs, Gabe. And look how bad guys have looked under Brady. I don't disagree with that. Listen, there's a guy by the name of Warren Sharp, I think, on Twitter. I think he goes by Warren Sharp. Is it Warren Sharp?
Yeah, he's great.
Warren Sharp says, bro, I thought I saw something, and I'm paraphrasing when I say this. I thought I saw something that happened in the Atlanta Falcons game or the Tampa Bay Bucks game. All the Bills love to do is mesh concepts. Mesh concepts. Bro, enough of that. It's predictable. And guess what? He had a video of a mesh concept being the interception that Josh Allen threw against the Tampa Bay Bucks was the same interception he threw against today's opponents, the Texans. And guess what? Go back to the Atlanta Falcons game. Same idea. Bro, like Brady's got to go, man. I've been done with Brady for 3 weeks now. I was done with Brady 3 weeks ago. So, like, Brady's got to go. I'm done with this guy. This guy had a good game plan last week. Kudos to you. But you got to go, bro. You got to go. Dio says, yo, our window closed last year. We might actually never win a Super Bowl with Josh. Sadly, half our defense will be gone next year while Pats get better. Bro, that's sickening to even hear. Absolutely sickening to even hear. I'm sick of that. Get Right says, yo, what the F is up with the penalties? What's up with the injuries? 8 years into this tenure, and we have more open holes than Lisa Ann. I'm over this run. I don't know who Lisa Ann is.
No.
What's Lisa Ann?
Man, you are a saint of a man. You are a wholesome guy. Are you pulling my leg right now?
I have no idea what or who Lisa Ann is.
You are, I think, the best guy I've ever met in my life.
Is it Google?
No, don't do it. No, go ahead and do it. You know what? Go ahead and do it. Yeah, go
Lisa
ahead.
Ann Walter?
No.
I'll look it up later. I have no idea what or who Lisa Ann is, but I have an idea. He says, you're a saint.
Oh, my God.
All right. Let me what Signify saying. Bitching about our receivers, defensive line, and LB is the dumbest argument you can make. Brandon Bean, bro.
Oh, that just made I needed that. Who was that? Who sent that in? Who was that?
Lisa Ann was my guy.
Yeah, right. Thank you. I mean, God, did I need that? 2 a.m. after that loss, and man, did I need that bad. Oh my God.
Love it. So my man says Brandon Bean bitching about all this stuff. Listen, man. I will say this though. I mean, everybody's dealing with some injuries, but this team would look so much more different defensively if we didn't have all these damn injuries. But injuries happen, so I'm not using that as an excuse. But it's just nice to imagine what it would look like if we had everybody freaking healthy. Like Hoyt going down was a really big piss off.
It was so bad.
Oh man, that's bad. That's bad. Don C. Steelers game is now a must win for the playoff hopes. Bye is it ever? This was a big win. We needed this one. This was a must win. We need to see where we stood, and we know exactly where we stand. We ain't ish. Alexander, fire Joe Brady, demote McDermott to assistant head coach. He would never do that, first of all. Hire an offensive-minded head coach and get a receiver one. That is on the list, but McDermott is either going to be part of it or he can't. You can't have him and nah, bro. He is either he's sticking around and he moves on from the two coordinators he has and go get guys that know what the hell they're doing, or he takes over the defensive play calling, goes forward, and he finds himself an offensive mind. I just don't see that happening anytime soon. Get Right comes back and says, yo, are you tired of having a defensive coach and a subpar defense? Is it offensive coach time? I'm disgusted tonight. These guys have 1 year left. I'm done with that. There ain't no 1 year left, bro. You ain't winning it. We got to make some changes. Something tells me they're going to be back because Pagula just won't do anything, but then that becomes on Pagula. That becomes Pagula.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Johnson has the Bears at 7-3 right now for what it's worth. And then you got Josh McDaniel. He's not a head coach. We know that. He's proven that.
Yep.
But with basically the same cast of characters that Buffalo had, Stephon Diggs, Mac Hollins. I mean, not Mac Jones. Drake May, statistically, right now, it's better than you probably even think it is. Truly, it's good.
He's playing good ball. He's playing good ball. You can't take it away from him. He's playing good ball. My man, Jason Dean, you stop the pressure by going no huddle. Don't let the Texans sub out. Bro, there's so many ways you can stop. I can't say so many ways. There's multiple ways you can stop the pressure. Screenplay, right? Take the pressure off. Throw a screen, not a receiver screen and go. I'm talking about an RB screen. Make it look like they're coming after you and boop, dump that off. That'll lessen them coming after you. A slant, quick slant, get on them, right? Quick, get the ball out of your hands. That's what Tua's known for. You can't get to Tua because Tua's always a boop, boop. Now, will he throw a pick to you here and there? Yes, he will. But his anticipatory throwing is one of the best in the league. Josh was just holding on to the football way too long. You can't do that with guys like Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson coming for you. You can't. You've got to get rid of the football. All that whoop-de-doo and la-de-da that you're doing, bro, it ain't working. And you're also not 23 years old anymore. You're 29. Hey, bro, you're 29, bro. You're almost 30. You're going to be pushing 30. You're not a young man anymore. You can't be doing all those little things you were doing. Russell Wilson can tell you that firsthand. Russell Wilson used to do all that loop-de-doo, yada-da, all that good stuff. Now, bro, he tries to do that. He think he back in the days. Let me tell you something. I was talking to my father-in-law, and he was wishing me a happy birthday. So we're talking, we're yapping away. And he was like, there's a place called Peggy's Cove in Nova Scotia. If you've ever been to Peggy's Cove, it's great. It's a sightseeing place with huge, massive rocks. And his mind is telling him that I can climb these rocks and do what I need to do. But his body was telling him, bro, you can't make that step. And if you make that step, you're going down and I ain't getting up. And Josh has got to realize your brain is thinking that you back to 22 or Wyoming days, but you can't. You're not the same no more, bro. And people now know who you are and what you do. So you got to change the game up a little bit. You got to learn to change the game up a little bit. He hasn't done that yet. He'll learn. He's got to learn. Do we get to here right now? Oh, yeah, we did get here. All right. Valerie. What up, Valerie? Valerie says, fire Brady. To me, he never adjusts. No evolution. No mid-game changes. Just the same predictable plays every week. Zero awareness. Zero answers. I feel like he's sabotaging us weekly. Am I wrong? Is he sabotaging us? Not on purpose. But yo, his game plan is not great. I mean, when your head coach tells you we got to stop being cute weeks ago, and you go ahead and be cute again 2 more times, I think it tells you everything you need to know.
I just don't get the selection of the use of the tush push. Like, why is it not used every time?
I don't know. Is it a McDermott? Because I know McDermott voted against that. So if he votes against that, that tells me he's like, bro, I can't be a hypocrite. I'm voting against it and I'm doing it. I'm telling people that it's against I think it's unsafe. We shouldn't do it. So if I'm telling people it's unsafe, we shouldn't do it, but I got my franchise quarterback doing it, I'm a hypocrite. So he's like, find another way to do the tush push. Find other variations of tush push. I think it's pathetic, first of all. Tush push is in the game for a reason. Stop it. If you can't stop it, keep it going. When the Wildcat came in, like the new thing until they stopped it. And then you didn't have to do the Wildcat anymore. The Wildcat was a new thing. The Dolphins were killing it with Ronnie Brown. And then no more. They stopped it. You stop the tush push, you'll find out how. What team was it that laid sideways on the floor? It was Washington, a team that laid completely sideways. Was it Washington? Somebody laid completely sideways.
No, Washington was the team who kept jumping off, and then they said they were just going to give Philadelphia a free touchdown if they did it one more time.
Remember? There was also a team playing Philly that they laid pretty much on the floor. So when they went forward, they tripped everybody over, and then they just couldn't do it. I can't remember who, but brilliant. But until you find a way to stop it, you'll stop it.
What was it about that 4th and 1 though when they handed it off to Cook that it was just so bad? Like, it felt like he was so gassed.
I'll tell you, he was gassed, number one. But like, you don't realize, right, is at the running back position, you're 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yes. And it felt like that on that play, did it not? It felt
you're
so long.
7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So Josh has to now take the ball from the center, move 2 yards behind. Now you're catching your mesh point is at 3.5 yards. So you're already behind the line of scrimmage. So if one guy misses a block, which it happened, you're cooked and you lose yardage. Take the tush push where you have an advantage of going forward, not. Bro, that pissed me off. When I saw that again, I was like, bro, are you serious? You're not going to give the ball back to him again. Are you? Oh, yeah, you did. You did. I was just trying not to abandon the run. I wanted to make sure that we get. Dude, your boy is gassed. He's gassed. Holy jumpers, man. Anyway, I would have preferred a play action pass where at least Josh has his legs to at least if he can't make the pass, he'll use his legs. He'll do what he can. I would have been fine with that. Anyway, it is what it is.
By the way,
what are you going to do?
Ram, I've been looking at you tonight. I got to text you after this. You're killing me. But it was Chris Jones who laid sideways.
Oh, there it is.
Main man Ram, and I guess it did not work.
Somebody laid sideways, and it kind of worked for a bit, and then I don't know what took place after that. All right, what do we got? We got my man Shinra. Because it makes me happy the Pats are back, so I can go back to having zero expectations for Buffalo. It's embarrassing. Shinra, we're not over yet, bro. We're not over yet.
What will you do if New England wins it this year? What will you do? I don't know if
the AFC East.
No. That's already correct.
Man. Oh man, bro, I don't know.
Have you given that one a thought?
I have not. I have not. I think that you. I mean, if they haven't made the decision, then you fire Brandon Beane and both of these guys. You got to go. And that would be a most coveted position going into a brand new stadium with Josh Allen still in his prime, and you get all the reins to do what you need to do. Hell yeah. But you can't let New England win it again. Are you sick?
Am I nuts to say I'd rather see the Chiefs win it again than to see them go and do this in year one with Vrabel?
I just can't see. I can't see. I don't want to see Lamar win one. I don't want to see Burrow win one. I don't want to see Baker win one. I don't want to see any of those guys win it. If someone's going to win it, sadly to say, it has to be Jalen Hurts or I don't want the Chiefs to win it again. I don't want Stafford. I'll give it to Stafford.
Or Goff. I'd love to see the Lions. Like if the Bills get bounced, then the Lions.
You know what? Lions. Give it to the Lions for crying out loud. Man, I can't see it any other way. Let me see.
I don't know if I could do this anymore if New England wins this year. I mean, I'll just tell you guys right now. Like, I don't know if I can keep doing
You're so
this.
full of shit. Shut your ass up. I can't do this anymore. Get out of here.
What more can I say if that happens?
Nothing. You just got to eat it.
What can I say to you guys anymore? And what can you say to me? How can we continue to do this? We have 3,500 people in here. I ask every one of you, how can we continue to do this? If they do that this year, how can we continue to do this to ourselves?
We get through it together. The same way we got through it together through the drought, we get through it together through that happening. That's the only way. There's no other way. There's no other way. It's just what it is. Get over yourself. That's what I'm going to tell you is get over yourself. It's going to happen. You're going to be there. You're not going to enjoy it. And neither am I. And neither are any of us. It's just going to happen. What do you think the real problem is? What is
what a great question.
If you were just one thing, if you were just to pinpoint it to one thing is the problem, what is it?
They got good. The Bills got good at the wrong time. I think that's just the way it is. I think they got good at the wrong time.
That's
honestly, I do think that could be the biggest problem. They got good at the wrong time. And now they're starting to dissipate at the worst time. Right?
They got good at the wrong time. It's not something. It wasn't their era. It's not their era. I
see LN coming in. You know, he keeps saying Joe Brady. You're better than this, Bot. It's Joe Brady. I'm not saying Joe Brady's a solution right now. I'm also saying though, like they already fired Ken Dorsey. This is the third offensive coordinator, and they haven't won with all three of them. Is there a magic offensive coordinator that's going to do it? I don't know.
But here's the difference too. Ken Dorsey has experience, right? Dable experience. Brady, young. Fresh new way of these offense these days. But when you look back at it, he got fired for the same BS when he was in Carolina, and we decided to just look past that because of LSU and this, that, and the third. Bro, I am buying it. So to me, the problem. I agree with LN. Joe Brady, and then a close second is roster construction. You don't have enough dogs on the squad.
But there's no way Bean would ever go without McDermott going, right? I mean, that always just felt like a package.
I mean, both times both have to go. Both guys. But don't forget how they were hired. They're hired in such a unorthodox way. You hire the head coach first, then you hire the GM. That's just weird. Oh, by the way, both of you guys report to me, and you guys don't report to each other. That's just weird. That's too weird for me. Johnny Wozniak. What's up, John? John says, players say they love McDermott because he lets them be who they are. I think they need a head coach who breathes fire. These stupid made-up Dree language, Dawkins, and stupid winter coat, etc. Time for a strict coach. McDermott is strict, though. McDermott started off being super strict. He's eased up a little bit. I think he might be maybe trying to tighten it up a little bit now. But don't forget, he started off as super strict and conservative. So he's come a long way. Is it good enough? Probably not. That's the problem.
This is the other thing, though.
Yeah.
I love Sean McDermott, the guy. And I give him so much credit. It goes so much farther than Allen saving this franchise. I do think that the culture of Buffalo, in many ways, had to do with what Sean McDermott brought to the table here. But when I mentioned earlier about missing the playoffs and stuff, if that were to happen and having to maybe reassess here, it wouldn't be an indictment on McDermott so much as it would be, it's almost like, you know what? Say you're in a relationship, Rico, and you're dating for 9 years. And it seems blatantly obvious that a wedding ring is never coming. An engagement ring is never coming. Even though you love that person, and you've been with them for 9 years and you've had some amazing moments. Sure, you've had some poor moments too. Every relationship does. But you had some amazing times. If you hit 9 years and it's becoming abundantly clear that this is never going to be a marriage, even though you love that person, wouldn't it not be fair to say, I love you, but I need to do what's best for me. I don't know how much longer I have to go and find my person. We're getting older here. We're not getting any younger.
You're onto something. Hey, you're onto something. There comes a time where we're just roommates. We're just living together. We're just friends. We're really good friends. I care for you. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm gonna be in love with you, you got another show for it. So like, what are we doing here? It was good. It was great what we had. It was amazing. We've had amazing times. But I think it's best that we part our ways. We'll still talk. We may even still see each other in the future. But right now, in this moment, no, we gotta part ways. Do you want to keep the apartment? Do you want me to leave?
Yeah, that might have been my best work. I'm sitting here thinking about this, and I'm like, damn. I mean, that's exactly what it feels like. Seriously, I really do have a soft spot for McDermott. I like him so much. It's just, I mean, dude, if you're dating someone for 9 years and you know that they're not getting down on a knee, like, could you blame the other partner for wanting to move on? I don't think 100%. You could.
And I'll tell you right now, when you've hit that crossroads where you're like, it's not romantic anymore. It feels like it's a job. It feels like it's just.
Oh, see, we're building this right now.
We're just going through the motions. Yo, you can't go through the motions. Where's the passion? Where's the love?
And you don't want to get to the point where you start to develop resentment, right? Like, because I think, right? Because I think if you parted ways, I'd have no ill will. I would always look back at McDermott and I'd have nothing but good things to say.
Yeah.
And I just say, you know what, man, you couldn't get it done. Like, you just couldn't get it done. But man, do I give him a lot of credit for what he was able to do for a franchise that I had to grow up rooting for, that was beyond anything that was worthy of the amount of love we gave him. You know,
100%. Listen, I've grown because of you. I've learned so much because of you. Like, we have learned from each other. Like, you've learned from me. You used to be so conservative. You used to be, but you've loosened up, haven't you? Yeah, you're right. And you've grown.
If the Bills
you used to be a bonehead.
If they moved off of McDermott, Rico, you can't tell me there wouldn't be party that would be sad. You would be sad.
100%. 100%. Yeah. I truly do believe that. I actually like McDermott. I really do. So some people call me a McDermott apologist. I don't care. I actually like the guy. But sometimes relationships have run their course. And it's sad. It's sad moments. You know what I'm saying? You got to clean that locker out. You got to clean the apartment out. Who gets to keep this picture? We bought it together. Remember all the posters on the wall? Championship caliber. Defend this dirt. Does that go? Does that stay? Who wants it? Does it go in the trash? Bro. Good segment. Well done. Well played.
That was deep.
He said, wow.
I'm hurting right now.
It's tough, but it might get to that. Or I still got love for you. I think we should work on it. We should go see therapy. We've never seen a therapist before. So, like,
what does that look like?
What does that look like?
Is the marriage counselor Brian Dable, and you bury the hatchet, bring him back in?
Oh man,
that's the other thing. You know, as much as I wanted to immediately go to bringing Brian Dable back after the Giants moved off, like, you know, things did not end well between McDermott and help me out. Why am I blanking? DC.
You're talking about Frazier.
Yeah, Leslie Frazier. And I think it was the same with Dable. I think that's like a well-known thing. There's no specifics that anyone's completely aware of.
Right.
But it always felt like that never really ended on the most amicable level.
Right. And you know what? Here's the thing. In the relationship could still work. Sometimes you bring some things into the relationship to spice things up, but the things you brought into the relationship made things worse. So maybe we should stop that and go back to what we used to be like. But what was that like? Get rid of Brady. We had no business bringing Brady here. You brought in something. You brought in a wrinkle. I thought it was good, but no, it doesn't work for us. That doesn't work for us. That's not us. That's not us. We gotta find something else. We gotta maybe move on from those things. Sometimes we have too much people involved in our business. You got Brady. You got Babbage, bro. Go back to you being the DT. You calling plays. We'll figure something out. Let's talk about it. We'll see.
Man.
There it is. That was for you, buddy. Whatever Elise Ann is.
Listen, at this point, I'm thinking here, like, the Sabres, as much as they're brought up in terms of the almost like the the lab rat for the Bills. This is how I view the Sabres because they're both owned by Pagula. And those who I know that are diehard Sabres fan, like I got a buddy, Nate. The Sabres have literally shaved 30 years off of his life.
Oh, Lord.
He watches them like we watch the Bills, and that's, what is it, 80 games a year?
Yep.
And from what I can tell, like as bad as things have been, there has not been any major movement by Pagula to address it. So this is why I don't know what it would take for Pagula to move off of being a McDermott. And there's a large part of me that thinks one missed playoff season probably wouldn't be it. As much as I think that might be what would do it for me, I don't know if that would do it for Terry Pagula.
You're right. It may not. It really may not. You're freaking right, man. And but that's a problem too. What would do it for Terry Pagula? We don't really hear from him. Not that we need to hear from him, but like, what is it? I mean, at least Jerry Jones lets you know what the heck he's doing, but he's in control, so he's vocal enough to let you know what's going on.
Also, too, like what matters most? Like, if you owned the team, Rico, you'd probably be pretty satisfied in what is the evaluation of the Bills gone up by since Pagula bought the team? He's probably 4x'd his money minimum.
Yep.
And the Bills are a national conversation piece yearly as long as Josh Allen's around. He really has no incentive to fire anybody.
And you're right. And I was even thinking about this even further. Like I saw Tracy McGrady that was on the floor today talking to Keon. And I was like, what could they possibly be talking about? And what's in it for Tracy McGrady? I mean, I guess what happens is the owners at the end of the day, when the profits are all coming in and how the year went, here's a bit of your profit. You put into this team, here's what profit we made. So it's all about the money at the end of the day. Seats, get the people in the seats. I got a brand new stadium that I didn't have to pay for. The city of freaking Buffalo paid for it. I'm chilling. So you're right. So sometimes you wonder if the owners actually give a rat's if they actually win. I'm making cake right now. It's a bonus if we win a Super Bowl, but if not, I guess I'm gonna make my money. Terrible.
And can you argue that when you're raking in billions?
You can't.
Like you
How
can't.
can you? How can
Couldn't.
you could not. You could not. My man Dio says, yo, then what pisses me off is that Josh will sit there and blame everything on himself. Josh, you got to be vocal, whether it's public or private, and speak up. I disagree because if he does what we all want him to do as a human being, then it just creates more drama.
Correct.
If he keeps it simple, it's like, hey, Josh is such a stand-up guy, but I know what he really wants to say. You know what he wants to say. He knows what he wants to say. But we know. We ain't got to talk about it. You know I'm frustrated. You know I want to call people out, but I'm not going to do it. But at least you know where my mind is at. If I slam my helmet, I'm not doing it because I'm happy. I'm doing it because I'm pissed off. I may not say anything, but I'm pissed off. Now, there's Josh has fault for a few things here and there. Of course he is. Right? He's the quarterback. He's going to make some mistakes. That Dawson Knox was wide open. Wide open.
The best way to put it is no matter how right Allen would be, in no way does it reflect well on him at all.
There you go.
As right as he would be, it does nothing but make him look bad. And that's why he can't do it. It's why he doesn't do it.
Bingo. My man Get Right says, yo, Bot is right. There's no positives in losing to Tua, Penix, and Mills as backups. How long do we have to hear about this Bills never winning? No Super Bowl in 25. It's trending towards that way. It's sucks to talk about it, but it's trending that way. Don C, 35-year fan. It was easier to fan when the Bills were bad. Those days I don't like those days where we had to sit with mediocrity or being a bad team and looking forward to a draft and picking top 10 and like, ooh, we're going to get in top 10. Bro, we're done with that. We're done with that, man. My man Eric Stevens says, yo, guys, I figured out our problem. Yeah, we're not well. We're not. we are not good right now. I believe it. Star Baby says, yo, let's go Bills. I love that you got some optimism. I'm loving that. My man Richie Fresh says, yo, team don't look much different than drought years right now. Only difference is we have a QB strapping. May get worse before better. I hope not. Listen, man, maybe here's making the bright spot. Maybe there's just the stadium is just cursed. We just need to go to another stadium and then call it a day. And now we'll have major success. We'll bring a Super Bowl to the team. And we'll go from there.
The only thing here is there's so much more of an argument for it. There's so much more of an argument for you to say that it would likely to be getting worse than for it to be getting better. because it feels like you've already had so many great cracks.
Yep, for sure. And everybody's only getting older. Only getting older.
Right.
Only receiver in the draft that moves me is Tyson from ASU. Boy, as much as I love to talk Tyson from ASU, bro, we in week 11. We're trying to we're trying to get some dubs, bro. We're trying to get some dubs. We ain't trying to talk no draft just yet.
It's when you know we're in a bad spot.
Shout out to my man Rashid for that super chat. But you didn't put a comment in there, bro. So hopefully, Rashid, you're in the chat. We can try to find yours. Billy says, yo, new to super chat. Love this team with the bottom of my heart. Appreciate that super chat, by the way, Billy. Brandon Bean has one phenomenal pick in Josh Allen, and that's it. But as a defensive specialist in McDermott, this is ridiculous. Yo, McDermott, although he's the one that's leading this team, the grocery getter is Brandon Bean. And he's the one that's got scouts out there doing what they need to do. I said it earlier, yo, move on and get new scouts, bro, because something's not given. Something's not given. Richard Fresh says, yo, Lisa Ann is cheeks, literally. Think about it, Rico. Oh, I think I kind of put two and two together, but I've never heard of Lisa Ann. Never heard of Lisa Ann. So, I mean, I have an idea who is comparable to Lisa Ann, but away we go. We all owe Diggs a sorry. No, we don't. No, we don't. We do not, sir. We do not, Thomas.
We couldn't win with Diggs either. I mean, we couldn't win with Diggs either, right? I mean, that's the whole thing there. Like they had Diggs and they couldn't win with him.
Yep, you got it. My man. Oh, we got a Bengals fan in here. It could be worse. You could be the Bengals fan. I mean, you guys could go on a run. Joe Burrow allegedly is coming back.
Crazy.
T. Higgins is there. You guys can probably go on a run. Just put enough points on. And you never know, but it might be too little, too late, just like last year. Too bad for the Bengals, man. The Bengals are just we talk about us, man. He's right. We could be the Bengals. Terrible. I blame Hard Knocks curse. Oh, you could be onto something. You could be onto something. Hard Knocks curse. We were talking about it, the Hard Knock, but then we started off 4-0, and then we're like, okay, maybe not. Maybe that Hard Knock curse is hitting right now. All right, last super chat of the night goes to Valerie Blemure. And Valerie says, oh, my God, Z-Bot. If the Patriots win this year, OMG, I would absolutely lose my ever-loving mind. That would be the final proof our GM and head coach got to go. No, there's no question. If Robert Kraft lives one more and Pagula sees this thing go down, it's a wrap. It's over with. Wrap this thing up. You know what I'm saying? You pack all your people. You got to go. We're starting off fresh. Woo-wee. That would be something. That would be something. Z-Bot, what else you got, man? Listen, it's 3 o'clock in the morning for me. It's 3:40 in the morning for me. And it is 2:40 for you. Last words. By the way, seriously, people, you have been rocking with us. 3,000 of y'all. There's 3,400 of you folks. You fine folks in the chat right now. All of you from X, and a majority of you guys are from YouTube. Listen. We appreciate you. Was this therapeutic for you guys? For us to sit through and talk about it and chat about it? Did we miss on anything? If we did, I mean, I don't know how tired Z-Bot is going to be tomorrow. I certainly will not be live tomorrow. Are you live tomorrow? Are you going live tomorrow? Or are you going to chill out with the baby?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I got to go. After games like this is when, like, I just feel like we do a brain dump. I got to collect myself and then see more precisely what I want to rip into.
Yes. I get you.
So maybe I will.
You.
But I don't have much left. We did 2.5. And Rico, you nailed it. 3,500 in here. You guys are the best. We can't say it enough. And it's always better. Amazing. I mean, we love celebrating wins, but getting together after L's and just doing what I just said, a mind dump to get rid of the thoughts you have after a loss like that. It is therapeutic to us. I hope it's therapeutic to you.
Yeah.
10 days, like you said earlier, Rico, to sit on this one. It's gonna feel long. They better take advantage of those 10 days because that Pittsburgh Steelers team is not a team you can sleepwalk and win on the road against. And frankly, the Bills aren't guaranteed to win against anybody the way things are looking right now. So 2.5 in the books, man. Can't thank you enough. By the way, we can't thank enough our friends over at Sleeper. As always, didn't hit my pick this evening. We're still gunning for a W. We are gunning for a sleeper W, just like our Bills are gunning to bounce back for a W after what we just saw in this one. Link in the description below. Click that. You sign up. When you do, you will immediately get a free $20 entry on Sleeper. You can use that for any of the Week 12 games this upcoming weekend. And, of course, you can use it for the NHL, NBA, you name it. Sleeper has you covered. Free $20 entry. Once you use that, use the promo code on your screen, BF25, and you will get a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below. Wow, Rico. 3 a.m., 2.5 in the books. I got to go relieve Mama Bot. And
how's that, by the way?
Girl.
So are you still a night owl, or are you still up and about, or what? How's that work for you?
Yeah, no, I am. Unfortunately, though, it's like, when you're doing the breastfeeding, unfortunately, I cannot really assist in that. So I got to go do whatever I can to aid in other ways. Zoe slept 5 straight hours late evening tonight. So now that we're in the wee hours of the morning, that's coming back to haunt us a little bit. Probably should have woken her up and have her do a little song and dance, so she would have slept a little bit more. So I got to go.
But you know what? It's also good because those 5 hours, you're like, oh, quiet time. And then you're shoot, maybe I should wake them up. Maybe I have to wake them up now so they can sleep through the night, so I can sleep through the night. But as long as the baby's sleeping, that's a good thing.
Yeah, Zoe slept through this game, and I was jealous of her. I should have taken a page out of her book. Seeing the congrats, by the way, once again, I'll say it. They've been piling in. You guys, it's just unbelievable, the amount of love everybody's given for our baby girl. We couldn't be happier, and you guys are the best.
Yep.
I mean, 3,500. What more can we say, Rico? After that L, I wish the Bills would have given us a little bit more.
Yeah.
Wish they would have gotten it for you on your birthday, Rico. But
listen, I wish they would have. I had the balloons and everything. I was ready to celebrate, and then they do this. And that's the Bills for you. That's the Bills. They can't always have you happy. They don't want to give you happiness for too long. They're ready to rip that happiness away from you. But I appreciate every one of you guys showing some love to your boy on his birthday. You know what I'm saying? It's not every day you can turn 25, man. So it feels good, feels great, and we'll keep it rolling, man. So I'll check tomorrow because I'm gonna be at work tomorrow, and then I'm going to the in-laws. That's why I gotta go to the in-laws and hang out with them. They've been asking, "Are you coming? Are you coming?" And Jenna's like, "So are you podcasting? Like my parents really want to see you. What am I supposed to say to that?" All right, man.
We said what we had to say tonight. Maybe I'll be back on tomorrow. We'll see. But 2.5 hours, we touched all the bases, and now we got to go.
Almost 4 o'clock in the morning, man. Your boys got to get at least 2 hours. If I get 2 hours, then I'll be able to somewhat function for the next day. But you guys have been great. Z-Bot, you've been great too, man. Look at you, man.
As of you. Go have your first legal drink. You've earned it.
Listen, man, I put that pink Winnie away, so we good. We cool. We cool. Right. If you guys enjoyed the show, don't be favorite. Do us a favor, especially for this guy right here. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like for this sexy guy right here. You know what I'm saying? And show some love. Share it if you have to. Retweet that. Quote tweet that. If you have it on, if you go on YouTube, take that link, copy that link, put it on your Facebook, put it everywhere so everybody can kind of get on the stream. The more likes, the more interactions with this, the better it is for us, and the better it pushes out to everybody else. I know we wanted to win. We'll have to sleep on this L. Oof. Sleep on this L.
Good night, everybody. Much love. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
If you're a podcast host, listen up. This one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle. And I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.